Yeah, here we are. And you know what? I got to tell you, this weekend, I'm trying to figure out who to root for between the Packers and, of course, the Tampa Bay Bucs, right? No, I was actually thinking, Tom Brady does not need a seventh ring. It does not need to be put in position to do so. So I was already leaning that way until I just remember when Dominican Sue stepped on Aaron's foot? I thought that was one of the dirtiest things I've ever seen. So in my mind, it's definitely beat Tampa Bay. Sue. And now Sue doesn't want to speak to him. Even though Tom tried to reach out and say, man, come on, man, bro, man, we can't even be friends no more. So, 49ers, though. Today, fam, I'm about to ask you, the left tackle spot, as you know, has been established as the most important spot on the offensive line. Everybody knows that. The Niners are arguably have the most talented player in the NFL at the position at this hour. PFF has predicted a deal that they feel Trent Williams' skill level does indeed warrant. Tonight, we'll be taking your calls for how much you agree or disagree with the PFF price tag for a top-grade left tackle, along with everything else. 410 Niners. And I know it's going to be dominated by that same stupid subject, but it's fine. That's why I bring this in here, for you to talk, so I can actually, and we do this every offseason anyway. I end up disagreeing with just about a huge percentage every year of the things that are being said. And I always end up being right. So I'm going to do it again this year. And Joro, please, man, you can't beat nobody. Batman, listen, I'm going to give you some advice. Man, you kind of limit it. Don't argue, man, because you made yourself look silly, man. I'm telling you, you said what year? Did you say that? You said 2019, George Kittle had 1,000 yards, right? Do you remember who was quarterback in 2019? I never mind. But I kind of like you. Like you're kind of amusing, I must say. Oh, by the way, goodbye to Martin Mayhew. Ian Rappaport tweeted earlier today, 49ers Vice President of Player Personnel, Martin Mayhew was headed to the Washington football team as a high-ranking executive with a title to be determined, source said. He'll work with Coach Ron Rivera and Marty Herney as WFT restructures its organization. But, my question here is, why did Mayhew went over there to pretty much assume the same duties? Maybe they're paying him more money? Is it about the money with him? Or did he feel like he had probably reached the top of where he was going to go, so maybe he thinks with the WFT he can go to the next level? It's kind of weird. If you're not going over there to be the GM, what are you going over there for? You might as well stay where you are in San Francisco. Okay, so he's gone. Maybe there'll be more about that later. But right now, it seems like a lateral move, and I understand why he made it. And then there's Sherm. Sherm still taking shots at the Niners. And granted, I understand. I'm not, because I'm not for Deshaun Watson being in San Francisco. But Sherm, I take exception to what he's saying because I see right now what he's doing. Sherm suggests Deshaun Watson leaves Texas and signs with the Jets. Like I said, I'm not for Deshaun coming to San Francisco, but I don't know if Sherm should be running around and talk about other places besides the team he just got through playing for. During the Chris Collinsworth podcast, Sherm, who co-hosts the show, shared his opinion on Watson and what he should do if he wasn't joining the Niners, right? And Sherm told Collinsworth, quote, "If I was Deshaun, I would get out of there as quickly as possible. I'd head to New York and George Chandray, the Jets. It would be the most beautiful situation. A decent offensive line." Sherm said the Jets had a decent offensive line? He said that, didn't he? According to this quote on the program. Didn't the Jets allow for about 40? Didn't they set a new record for sacks last year? Okay. Sherm goes on to say they'd have to find threats. They'd have to find some offensive weapons. But I think there would be a lot more people excited to be there. This is where I denoted Sherm has some animosity towards San Francisco. We got weapons in San Francisco. The offensive line certainly isn't any worse than the one with the Jets. Watson did go down quite a number of times, though, when he was with Texas. He said, I think the free agency market this year is going to be oversaturated because of the salary cap, but that's what I would do, unquote. So, Sherm, I can't wait to see what he's going to say next. But whatever he says, it's going to be anti-49ers, I notice. I guess he's pissed off. Sherm, I really appreciate why you were in San Francisco, but Sherm, I got news for you. We would have won a Super Bowl if you would have screwed up. I mean, that's the truth, Sherm. You got beat, man, with a silly route that you have seen before, I'm sure. Okay, anyway, the Niners pull off a draft day steal and picking up Trent Williams from WFT in exchange for a 2020 fifth round and 2021 third round pick. Williams' long absence from playing ball wasn't evident on any tapes, though, whatsoever. He's returned to form as one of the best tackles in the NFL. Williams had the highest run blocking grade in the league among tackles, 91.5. And as you know, it is an extremely important skill in Kyle Shanahan's outside run scheme. Oh, you've got to be able to clear space. T-Dub also ranked ninth in pass block, graded 85.6. According to PFF, Williams allowed 4 sacks this season, but none came after week 5. James, I know what you're thinking, man. He did not allow another sack after week 5, though. I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice I did notice one sack he allowed early on when he first came back. But you know what? You got to allow for that. This dude hadn't played in a long time. After week 5, he was back in shape and didn't allow another touch on the QB. And the player's player finished the season as the analytics site's highest graded tackle and second highest graded offensive lineman. That has to be considered amazing, especially after a limited offseason for a guy. What is he, 30? You got to figure, you can get a little tightened up if you go a whole year without playing, and you still come back and you can do this? Players putting in that kind of work are very hard to let go, and the Niners most likely are going to move mountains to keep him in the Bay Area. Now, PFF recently predicted that Williams returns to the 49ers on a 4-year, $80 million deal with $62.5 million total guaranteed and $45 million fully guaranteed at the signing. That sound like it might work? Now, if Williams wants more than that, what are you going to think? Do you think that's too much? If things go south in the days ahead, though, towards making a deal with the big man, the 49ers do decide to move on, they will most likely earn a third-round compensatory pick in 2022 when Williams probably does sign a massive deal somewhere else. So, the Niners can recoup the majority of their trade investment if they end up having had Williams just as a rental. Fair, what are you feeling on that? And anything at all things 49ers? Let me, we got anything over here with these? Horatio Flores says that ain't bad. And Horatio also says if we want more, let him walk. That's the kind of response I'm thinking. Can Williams get more money than that from who? And that's what I said. And man, Niner Nation came down on me, got burned again. His carrier is over his milk in the NFL now. Ross, get this. It's not that I don't like Watson. I just don't want to make a huge move for him. I'm not even a Jimmy fan. I noticed that Matt from Wii Sports, I guess he's just saying that because of Salah. I guess, you know what? You're right, though, Matt, from Wii Sports. Sherman's going to campaign hard for Salah, isn't he? Because that's his dude. And George Hill Sunday's going to get real, fam. I know, that's going to be a fun game. And of all people, the first person I catch on the phone is my man James, who has made clear that people need to stop jumping up and down and hollering and screaming about T-Dub. James, come on in, man.
What's up, Ronbo?
James, I'm delighted to hear from you, family, that you're the first guy on. Because I was thinking about you when I was looking at this. I said, boy, James got something to say about this. James, go on.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. I'm doing great. I hope you're doing all right. It sounds like it. You in the kitchen?
I'm alive, thank God, and I'm blessed, So, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. That's what I was asking. Was you in the kitchen? Sound like you was beating around the house.
Yeah, I am. I am. And yeah, well, I'll tell you this much. I don't know how much he's asking for, but I really think, first and foremost, thank you and your staff for what you do, the platform y'all provide for us. And we're truly
pleasure.
blessed
Thanks,
to be
James.
part of this empire with you and talking all niners and keep all them other outsiders, let them find their movement, their speech program, their platform. But Ronbo Sports ain't the one. Yes, sir. So moving on to other business. About this Trent Williams episode, I'm starting to believe one thing. I think they may have tried to offer him not as much as he wanted because let's not forget, Sean Coleman is still in that building. Sean Coleman took off for COVID-19. Sean Coleman is, I believe, younger than Trent Williams. Okay, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know much about Sean Coleman, but he's still there. And I don't know. I mean, whatever they offered him in the beginning, he said no to it. I think the David Bakhtiari contract is annoying him because he feels he may be better. Now, for him to have a 95-point-something rating as a pass and run blocking, I wasn't that excited in seeing him in pass blocking to me. Now, maybe, these analytical people that come up with these statistics, however they rate it and put it together and come out with the number, I don't know. But hopefully they'll get something worked out. But I can guarantee you there's a backup plan already in place because he already balked at him one time. And who knows, they may offer him 20 and he may say no to it. I think that's extremely too much. I think if you were trying to save cap money and there's some teams out there that need a left tackle, if you traded him, you're still going to get back draft picks, okay? And you're going to get compensatory picks. So as great as he appears to be, if we happen to move on from him, we're going to acquire some draft capital from him. Some good draft capital, from a team that's in need of a tackle now. I'm telling you, the Colts are sitting there. They are sitting there. They lost two of their starters. Mm-hmm. Now, one other thing I'm a little concerned about, though. I don't know how bright Robert Saleh is as a human being because he took the Jets job, wouldn't even interview with the Chargers. Now, the Chargers, the owners of the Chargers, they hire minority coaches. And the thing about them, they give them basically their full tenure to let it play out before they move on with them. I think Dean Spanos is the owner. Mm-hmm. He did that with Anthony Lynn. He could have got rid of Anthony Lynn the year that he drafted Herbert, but he rolled with him. And now the Chargers are a much better team than the Jets, and they got a young ascending team. Young, strong defense. You got Joey Bosa over there, Melvin Ingram, Derwin James on the back end, and that young D tackle. I think it's Chinetta Owusu, the one I was campaigning for.
I know. I see his name spelling, but I never tried to pronounce it. I was afraid to break my jaw. Yeah.
And then, I don't understand what made him believe so much in the Jets because he starts out 0-8, bro. They're going to be looking for a new coach. And one thing I wish he would get away from, stop poaching off our team. It's 31 other teams in the NFL that's got assistants. Why don't you go after some of theirs, okay? And stop looking, because I can guarantee you right now, that friendship that him and Kyle did have, I think it's water under the bridge right about now because he keeps wanting to take players from the Niners like he's just that good to challenge Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. And you're not, okay? Because we had really one good season under you. The rest of it, I don't care if we lost by a field goal or we lost by 1 point. We lost. We went into that Super Bowl, and what did Patrick Mahomes do? He assaulted Richard Sherman. You would think that Robert Saleh would have adjusted, but he didn't. He rolled with Sherman, while Tavarius Moore was picking him off all day. But he chose to ride with Sherman. So, I look at it like this, man. I want him to stay at the Jets for his little time there, which will be maybe a summer and an early spring, and leave our team alone and our players. And take that number 25, take your little spokesman right along, because he ain't got it. And I'll tell you one thing. You want to not be able to play to be the head coach the whole summer and possibly going into winter with the Jets, sign Richard Sherman to a big deal and watch him destroy your defense sector, okay? Because we seen it happen in Santa Clara, and it happened. It was disgusting, man. It was disgusting. I mean, and this year what I seen.
Especially when you depended on him most to be Sherm.
I'm trying to tell you.
He failed.
I told you, it started when we played the Packers the first time. Devontae Adams burned it. We played the Vikings. Stephon Diggs burned it. Okay? We played the Packers again.
I think Diggs burned Spoon. But anyway, he did. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And I mean, listen, I understand you want to play until you're 70. I don't blame you. Playing until you're old enough to get dentures, ain't nothing wrong with that, okay? But your career's got to end sometime. And his career, truthfully, it ended really last year. I wouldn't have brought him back. Yeah. I would have brought him back for minimal money. And John Lynch is seeing that. John Lynch didn't offer him the money. I don't care about how good of a rah-rah guy you are in the locker room and a team leader. And here's what I can say about a lot of the players that Salah is trying to find a way to poach through Richard Sherman. They're realizing something. You can go to the Jets for 2 seasons and be out of football. Yeah. You can stay here in Santa Clara, and hopefully within 2 seasons, you'll be back in the Super Bowl without a problem. Okay? That's what they do know. But the Jets, I don't see them probably in the next 5 years even winning the AFC.
Or
really
even longer. They're just organizations like the Jets and the Lions. They just find a way to screw up. James, we're out of time. Fun points, great points. I knew you'd be ready for this. I thought about you when I brought this up.
The Jets won a Super Bowl 51 years ago, a year before the Chiefs, I believe. It was either one. They're only like a year apart.
Joe Namath.
I think either the Chiefs won it, and then Joe Namath won it. Okay? Yeah, man.
Okay, James, we got to stop. I'll see you Friday.
All right,
okay. All right, fam.
Hey, thank you, man, for what you and your staff do and all that you provide for us. And Niner Empire, Niner for life, and we're going to be fine one way or another, man. But be blessed. Thank you. We always do. Try to stay COVID free and do your best, man.
That's the thing.
Be blessed.
All right, fam. All right, James. See you weekend. All right.
Have a great evening.
You too.
See you.
Yeah, I knew James would love this particular subject tonight. I just open the door. James, come on in and get him. I just don't know. Hey, Tony, I bet you Tony knows. Wait, Tony, let me sing with me, Tony. Tiny bubbles
in my wine makes me happy, makes me feel fine. How you doing, Ronbo? Aloha.
Doesn't he sound good? Aloha. Done ho. Done Tony.
Oh, dude, you're too kind. How you feeling on this fine Wednesday?
Good, Tony. Because it's like we're moving toward, and this is that time of year when you start to feel okay, no matter what bad happened. It took me a little longer last year to get over the Super Bowl loss. But, we never got there. We got plenty of reasons as to why we didn't get into the playoffs. And I figured it'll all be corrected. We've got vaccines out there now that make things better. So maybe things will return to some form of normal by the time guys get reported to OTAs. And we're going to come back and we're going to destroy things, Tony. But that's why I'm feeling pretty good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm feeling, I feel like it's a new day for a lot of different reasons right now. Mm-hmm. And, the state of the 49ers roster, it's not as good as it was going into the 2020 season. But at the same time, we're decent in salary cap space. We're, I think, number 11 out of the 32 teams in the league. So we're top third. So that's pretty good. Mm-hmm. And, we have some decisions to make. We have a lot of both restricted and unrestricted free agents. So we got right now at least 10 draft picks, maybe 11 if the Washington football team doesn't do Mayhew dirty and not give him the GM title. If he gets that GM title, we get one more draft pick this year, I believe, as a result of him moving on and hopefully getting that promotion.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah. Mayhew's a man of color.
Indeed.
I forgot all about that.
Well, that's my conspiratorial hats going on here. Like, why the only reason I could think of why the Washington football team might not be giving him that actual promotion
Is to avoid the compensatory pick.
Yeah, not that comes out of their pocket, but it just seems weird. It does. I agree with you, Ronbo. It seems weird to me that he would do a lateral move like that. At the same time, I guess Mayhew did play for Washington back in the day, so maybe there is some emotional attachment there.
You see, I didn't know that.
So,
yeah. Tony, one of the things you hit upon that I was unaware of. Do you know if we rank around 11 that we stand a better chance to keep Williams, and I think that's why they're so comfortable in Santa Clara, because if you're ahead of that many teams, he's not got a lot of options to go see if he can find more money.
Yeah, well, so here's the deal right now. I'm looking at, I guess, sportstrack.com, so not Over the Cap, but a different site. Right now, we have, currently for the 2020 season, we have 12.8 million free. So some stuff's going to come available once we get the new cap number. So, which is number 11 in the league right now. So there will be some rollover. But yeah, in terms of the Williams deal, I will say, what'd you say? 4 years, 80 million is what PFF projects him at. You know what? If you can get him for under
guarantees.
21. Yeah, with huge guarantees spread out throughout the, and the cap will go up in 2022, which is good to sort of plan for. That is actually, I think, the ceiling of what I'd be willing, just looking at the current cap situation, to offer a guy like Trent Williams. I do think he is currently the best left tackle in the NFL. My only concern with him is he is 33. He turns 33 this year. So,
okay. So that's funny how old he was. Okay.
I mean, offensive linemen can play deep into their 30s. So, I mean, Jackson Slater played, I think it was 40s. Yeah, exactly. Look at Whitworth. Exactly. So, my concern would be just, how many more years does he have at the top? The other thing I think about Williams in terms of maybe letting him walk if he wants like $25 million a year or something really, really, really big and even more guaranteed is, I was watching the PFF, draft predictor podcast from yesterday. And what they made a note saying that this is one of the best years for tackles that they've seen in a little bit. So also there are a couple of free agent left tackles as well. So depending, if we can't get Jimmy G to take a little bit less money or restructure that contract, and if Trent Williams wants too much, I wouldn't be opposed to letting Williams walk. He deserves his money. I said this before, but the football team did kind of screw him over. So he should go and get the best deal he possibly can. If that's the Jets, that's fine. Like, God bless him. But I think we'll have other options in both free agency and, even maybe that, if he does walk, that number 12 pick could turn into a quality left tackle. We'd be a little young at the position, but I think there are some other ways to look if he doesn't want to take that $20 million a year. I would be hesitant for more than that, though, just given the amount of free agents that we do have to re-sign. But there's still a lot to be determined. The cap number hasn't come back in yet, but he's worth the money. He's worth as much as he can get.
Absolutely. Tony, one question on that, though. If he should sign with the Jets, does your position as far as that compensatory pick, does it come from the team that he went to? Because Jets compensatory pick would be awesome.
So it's more, so it doesn't come, so the compensatory picks don't come from the team that the player signs with. They are assigned, it's the NFL. So, and the formula is a little bit more complicated than that. They look at all the players that you lost in free agency and what they signed for, and compare that with all the players you signed in free agency, and then they assign you your draft picks based upon that. So, that being said, he'll be top of the market left tackle. So in terms of equity, and depending on, like, we could lose K1, we could lose him, we could lose, Verrett. And these are guys who are going to sign, $10 million deals, not K1, but Verrett might sign a $10 million a year deal someplace else, So it's very possible we could be looking at multiple compensatory picks starting in 2022. So we got to play that Patriots game. It's what they're really, really good at, So
I know they were, weren't they? They still are, probably still are. Belichick just, COVID took all of his players, but that's really a strange and scary situation. I don't know what we're going to feel like going, by the time OTAs start, we're going to sit there saying, Jesus Christ, we got stripped naked. What are we going to do here? Because I'm sure Jimmy's going to take at least some amount of a reduction in the salary in order to help his guys. He doesn't want to see George leave. I mean,
no.
Juice
George won't
leave or any of these other
Juice.
guys.
Yeah, I think the best option for Jimmy, I mean, and for the 49ers going forward is extend him by 1 year. So he's our quarterback for 3 years in the future. And then we look
And then
at
rewrite
that late
that contract.
first. Well, yeah. Redo the contract, extend for a year, spread the money out. And then the Niners' best move is to do that. And then I'll also look at a quarterback in round 1 or round 2. But later on, somebody that they can develop over time, because it doesn't hurt to have more than one starting quarterback on a roster. We learned that. We learned that the hard way this year, right?
Ideal situation, exactly.
Yeah,
and as I say, I want a kid that comes in there and he's so good that he actually competes with Jimmy for that job next year. And if he can do it. Other than that, build a fire on Jimmy to bring out the best in Jimmy. I still think he's a good quarterback, though, and I think it's mostly because of that foot and time being on the field. All about repetitions. But go ahead.
Totally. And Jimmy has always played his best football while under pressure, whether it's coming back after a pick or, take a look at that Saints game. That was a shootout the entire time, pretty much squarely on his shoulders. So I think he has the mentality to respond to pressure well, but it's just a matter of, can we keep him upright, which is where Trent Williams or the future left tackle, however that ends up working out, would come into play. So it's going to be a fun off season to follow, just with all the interesting storylines going on, in addition to, the NFL COVID response and the cap and all that sort of stuff. So, fun stuff.
It's gonna be a lot of drama all over the place, and a lot of it's gonna roll in our direction. But I tell you, 11, we're not low. I keep thinking there's other teams with all kinds of money. There's not.
Yep.
So Parag can sit there and tell people as they're sitting at the desk, listen, here's what you're up against, and here's what you can expect.
Yeah.
The league is this, and this. You can go to this team. You've got no chance to win anything with the Jags, but you'll be probably well compensated. The Jets, of course, have lots of money. I can give you a contract that we can load it in a fashion where next year you'll pick up more when the league expands the cap, if you're willing to do that. I know you're thinking that my security right now is more important to me, but think about this for a minute. Your security is not safe no matter where you go at this particular time. You got to talk fast when you talk to those guys and see what happens,
For sure. Got to talk fast when I talk. No, the other thing I think is interesting about just what's going to happen in terms of player salary, because the cap is reduced. So few teams right now have a lot of cap space. It's going to cause a lot of veterans to take less money for less amount of time, which is going to have an interesting effect on franchise tags and what the franchise tags deals are going to be worth going past the season, because those numbers are factored top 5 at your position average. So going into 2022, those franchise tags are going to be that one franchise tag the team gets is going to be very valuable, I think, because the overall numbers of what the players are getting played are going to go down as well. So the economics of this are fascinating, sir.
And it's going to get even better. Tony, good stuff, my dear friend. Hey, let's get together this weekend, Friday.
Sounds good, Ronbo. Take care of yourself, brother.
You too, Tony.
Aloha.
Aloha. Oh, God. And hey, Darius.
What's up, Ronbo?
Darius, I'm looking at, we got about 5 guys that are just we got 6 guys that are just about pretty much must signs. And I'm looking at 4 years, $80 million, $62.5 million total guaranteed, $45 million fully guaranteed at signing. So that means they only pay him a little bit of money after that. Hey, Darius, is that, you think that's okay with the fact that, can he get more money somewhere else? Or do we run that risk? Because you can't bluff him, because he's 32? He says, I'm at the end of my career. I'm the best in the game. I need to get paid. How do you handle this? Are you okay with that deal?
$20 million a year. There's definitely going to be teams that can pay him more than $20 million a year.
Ooh.
Like I said a week ago, the Colts. Colts have that cap space, and they're in desperate need of that. So.
And maybe we can sign the guys that left him. Did they just quit football? I forgot. What was the story on the guys that left the Colts?
The tackle that quit, retired.
Yeah, he retired. Okay, you said they got 2 tackles though. Well, they don't have 2 left tackles. So okay.
No, they have a right tackle, but we
don't need. Well, we do, but we don't.
They don't have a left tackle anymore, and their draft position isn't that high to get a premier tackle at the draft. So they're gonna throw that 65. What do they have in cap? They have a lot of cap space. They have.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
they have lots of cap.
In cap.
And Rivers just decided to retire.
They moved ahead of the Jets in cap space. I don't know
Oh,
how, but it did.
well, because they were paying
Another
Rivers a lot.
second in the NFL.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. You're right. Yeah, it's another second in the NFL in cap space.
so they're going to come after our guy, and they're also going to come after Deshaun Watson. And they're going to go hard, but Watson's going to, they're not going to let, Texans aren't going to let that happen. They'll do anything that can stop that. I don't see the Texans letting them go anyway. But if there is some kind of an exchange possible, Indy's sitting right there. They got a vacancy. They got a good team.
Right, but
God.
if the Colts were to trade for Deshaun Watson, what would they have to give up? Two, 3 first-round picks.
Like everybody else.
Probably like a corner, they probably give up like the Forrest Buckner too. I don't see them doing that. They probably. I don't even see the Texans trading away Watson.
Well, yeah, I'd bet money it's not going to happen. But if it did come down to that, you're right though. They would tell, hey, you guys in our division, I don't know why you made this phone call.
Exactly.
Listen, I'm starting off
right,
with the
you're right,
Forrest
too.
Buckner, 3 first-round picks. You want me to continue? Hello? Dude hung up the phone,
You just reminded me they're especially not going to trade Watson in it, let alone conference divisional too. So that's not going to happen. If they're going to trade Watson, they have to be out of conference. It's just they don't want to play. They don't want to risk the chance of playing Watson once a year and Watson lining him up for 500 yards and just looking at that management like, thank you for letting me go. But
especially since he's pissed with him anyway. Watson will love playing the Texans. Oh, he'll get pumped all the way up. Oh my God.
yeah, but then again, I don't see the Texans trading away Watson. If they go ahead and they sign the Chiefs offensive coordinator that Watson wants, I don't think he's going to leave.
Eric Bieniemy will end up being somebody special on the Texans unit, and they will apologize and somehow smooth that out. Because quite frankly, I'm telling you right now, everybody in that organization, the Texas organization, knows if Deshaun walks, you may as well walk with him. Because you got rid of D-Hop, and now I'm watching my franchise quarterback leave. You guys are fired. I'm going to let you know up front. I'm the owner. I tell him. I'm going to let you know up front. If he leaves, you leave.
Yeah,
So
100%. And they just signed them. They just signed a new GM too, or was it a GM? I don't know.
Yeah,
they signed a new guy.
That was the guy that Watson's not happy with. So
yeah, exactly. So if they do trade away, if he does trade away, Watson's getting cut. Like he's going to get fired in a month or so in his job. So I don't think he.
And they're not high enough in the draft to pick up a prime time. Wait a minute, they're not that low on the draft though. They're ahead of us, aren't they?
They don't even have a first round draft pick.
Oh,
because they did that because
O'Brien.
they would have had the third over. Right, they would have had the third overall pick, but they traded away to Miami. So now Miami has a third overall pick, which would have been the Texans, but they didn't even have a first round draft pick. So it's not like they have any chance to get Devontae Smith so they screwed themselves over. Like bad trades. The DeAndre Hopkins trade, that was a horrible trade. The Laramie Tunsil trade, that was a horrible trade. The Jadeveon Clowney trade, that was they just keep shooting themselves in the foot.
See, that's why we need to appreciate Lynch and Shanahan. A lot of things are going on around them. They just don't even pay any attention. As a matter of fact, they just hired Rich Scangarello back. I hope folks know that
I believe
Scangarello
he not
is the whisperer
was he
from
not
Jimmy.
the quarterback coach?
With Jimmy first game?
Sorry. Was he not the quarterback coach in Jimmy's first year?
Yep.
All right, then. That's perfect. Exactly what we needed.
So, but a lot of fans are going to say, that's okay. We're still getting rid of Jimmy. You guys, the writing's on the wall. Rich didn't come back to coach Deshaun Watson. Go ahead.
Right, but another important thing was when Shanahan made what's his name, our running game coordinator, Mike McDaniels. He made him an offensive coordinator, and just you see how much that's going to help our team in offensive play calling this year, because Kyle Shanahan would take that responsibility 100% of the time. Now he can give some of that to Mike, and you're going to see a huge benefit from not only the running plays, but also the passing plays, because now Shanahan can just focus on the passing plays, So that was it takes a little bit of pressure off him. He's calling every single play.
I'll
right?
bet you that's what they
'Cause it's not
plan
like
on doing. I bet you're right, Darius. They're going to divide up that responsibility during the course of the game and go back and forth. I wish one of them would go upstairs to the booth, and I wish that would be Shanahan.
I don't think Shanahan's going in the booth. But I
He
think
won't. I wish he would. His best work is done when he can fully see the field and what the defense is. Okay, I guess he knows what he's doing. Darius, good stuff.
yeah, but I
man.
think
We're going to run out of time.
Yeah,
but listen, I loved your points. We got to continue on Friday.
all right, Ronbo. I'll catch you later then.
Looking forward to it. Good stuff. Yes, I hadn't thought about that angle. I was thinking he was just going to give Mike busy work and have him the title so he won't leave and go to another team. And Shannon continue to do all the responsibilities of play calling. But this sounds like a plan that could be solid. Oh, John.
Hey, Ronbo.
Yeah, John. How you doing tonight?
Nothing much.
And well, it's that time of season again, especially when you're not in the playoffs. But we're looking at tonight. We're looking at are we gonna pay Williams? And after finding out that as soon as the green light is given on free agency, Indy is gonna call. They're gonna call Trent Williams. So fast, Trent. Listen, before you take anything from the 49ers, know this. We will definitely do better. See? We're $20 million, 4-year contract, 4 years, $80 million, $60+ million guaranteed, 45 upon signing. That's a good deal. But then the Colts turn around and say, how about 75? Oh, and 55. Oh, blew the 49ers right out of the water. John, it's a frightening time again.
Well, I'm not worried because one of the things that I heard, talking about the new offensive coordinator of the 49ers, I didn't know this, but I went back. He goes back all the way to Kyle's dad. He's been working with the Shanahans. That's why he let LaFleur go, and he kept Daniels because he said, I've known this guy for I think over 15 years. He's been my running back guy. He's made those running backs really good, and he was awarded that position. That's why he gave up on LaFleur very easily because I believe that with him as the offensive coordinator plus the coach who is the quarterback coach, I got a feeling that Shanahan with Daniels as the coordinator and that guy, I don't know his name, but the quarterback coach, I think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have, is going to have a better year because there's something that we didn't know. And when you look at that history, as I said, Shanahan keeps people that he likes. And he was not going to let that guy go. Yeah. And then this thing about Deshaun Watson and Richard Sherman that he should go to the Jets. There was a leak information that went out to Fox Sports that Robert Saleh says with the experience Kyle Shanahan had with Jimmy Garoppolo, he says, you know what? I want to get Watson to the Jets because of him watching. He says, I don't want Sam Darnold. So that's one of the reasons why this story came out. I'm not sure if it's true, but if that's what it's saying, then I think Saleh believes personally that Jimmy Garoppolo is trash, and he wants to get Watson to the Jets. And they're able to do it because they have 6 picks in the first 3 rounds, and they're able to give up a first, second, and third to the Texans. They have more draft picks, and they have 6 more draft picks. So they're able to do it. They're the only team that can do it. So I think that's what's going on with that story. And then when it comes to Trent Williams, first it said the starting price for him was $18 million. Now it went up to $20 million. It's getting scary. If I'm John Lynch, you try to get him as cheap as possible. If not, you let him walk.
Yeah, well, I missed something there though. Who are we gonna put at left tackle?
It's true. when Washington, did what they did, because when they found that, that cancerous, mold that he had, and they swept it under the rug, you missed a year, you lose faith. You come to San Francisco and you hope that the team could, give you a good contract. So right now, Trent Williams, even though he's keeping his mouth quiet, personally, away from the camera, he's still pissed off. He says, I deserve to get paid. The things that happened to him, I feel bad for him. I want him to stay, but as a fan and a person, if they had to make that decision, I would give him the cheapest contract that he will take. But if he wants more money, I'll let him go because it's just too expensive. The Niners have other more important needs. As their secondary, they're all free agents. Are we going to able to keep as many as we can? The draft, so there's a lot of problems. And of course, everyone keeps talking about the offensive line, how that offensive line was really bad. There's so many things that we have to do. So if we're going to be fixating with Trent Williams, Jimmy Garoppolo, Richard Sherman in his big mouth, we have a lot of things that we have to worry about. So, and then the salary cap, I just heard a breaking story from that guy from the NFL Network that the cap moved up from 175. So that's good for us. So there's
I
going to
knew
be
that
more
was going
money.
to happen. There's no way they were going to, because the league would be shooting itself in the foot if they couldn't find a way to make that cap workable. You want to keep teams as competitive as you can. You don't want everybody going to play with the Jets and Jaguars. So yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Makes sense. And remember, John Lynch said anything above 175 is gravy. I don't know what he meant by that, but yeah, I guess we'll find out more later. We got a lot of picks, Stephen, to pay. I guess, well, except for the first round pick.
I know we're getting the third round pick, so now we have 3 picks, in the first round, second round, so that's good for us. And we'll be able to trade up if we have to. We're able to trade down. Like I said, this offseason is going to be very chaotic. There's a lot of crazy rumors and stories, but at the end of the day, I have confidence on John Lynch. Like last year, like Ayuk, when we drafted him, their coach, Herm Edwards, said to the NFL draft, this kid's going to shock everyone. And guess what? He was right. Mm-hmm. And look who we got. We got the steal at wide receiver. So, like I said, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, they see talent while many people don't. So I'm not worried. So
yeah, that's a good point. They do have an eye. And we still kept Adam Peters. I really don't know how much input. You always heard about Adam Peters, but John, do you remember hearing anything about Martin Mayhew's input on a real blue chip player? I don't remember hearing his name ever mentioned. I suspect he was one of those guys who was doing work, but nobody gave him any credit. But everybody knew Adam Peters from how he built that Denver roster, how good he is at being able to identify talent. So I don't know what happened there. But the 49ers didn't argue with him to leave, though, so I don't think. It's hard to know. Anyway, John. Hey, John, let's see you Friday and see what develops between now and then, because every day during this time of year is going to be drama. More so after the playoffs, but still. So.
All right, Ronbo, thanks again for the platform. Okay. Niners all day.
Twice on Sunday. All right. Have a good night, John. And my favorite dude, forget about it. Let him get in here.
Time it is, Ronbo. Forget about it, time. What's going on? How you doing, Ronbo?
Mike, I got no mic volume. You sound distant. Is there anything you can adjust to make yourself sound a little more louder?
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Just barely.
I don't think I got anything on my phone. Can you hear me a little better now?
That's a lot better now. All right. Well, Mike.
Okay. All right.
Mike, I'm wondering about Trent Williams and this offer the PFF.
Are you wondering, Ronbo, or are you knowing? Listen, this is what I'm wondering, Ronbo.
All right.
What the hell is our team doing? I'm ready to see some action. I'm ready to see some stuff going on. I don't like it. Look, we got too many things in the off-season checklist, Ronbo, and it's been a little too quiet, I know we promoted some guys within and blah, blah, blah and all that, but listen, I want to start seeing some contracts being rearranged. I want to start seeing some news flying out, Ronbo, 49-49, all right? I want to start seeing it, Ronbo, honestly. I got to, listen.
Mike, I think
all the teams
I think it's illegal to start any personnel action just yet. But I think they're moving in
mean
within the front office. I mean, the front office personnel.
No.
Player personnel. I'm sorry.
Personnel between our guys. Rambo. You know what I mean? Between our guys, I'm talking about. You know,
Okay.
I mean, we got to get some guys. We got to find out who's getting the contract. Listen, I seen some good things today. I don't remember whose wife it was or somebody, but somebody posted. Looks like Shanny's out there with Kittle, and they're out there with Juice in Cabo. And they took a picture there. Shanahan's kid was riding around in a golf cart with Juice and Kittle out there in Cabo. So that's a good sign. Maybe they're going to convince Juice to stick around and re-sign with us. You know, I like that idea.
got it.
But listen, on the other end, we gotta see some creativity, Ronbo. You know, we gotta see some creativity. You know, I've watched a lot of teams get creative with picking up draft picks, moving guys around, going after and getting guys, all right? So it could be done. And I would like to see him get a little bit creative. And here's one thing. You know, a lot of people saying for like someone like Watson or something that we would have to give up a bunch of players, right, Ron? But I don't think so. And I think we really need to look into the avenue of what old Bill Belichick over there, what he would give us to get Jimmy G back. I mean, honestly, I think we should look into it because, look, here's the deal, right? If there's any team out there, Ronbo, that's going to give us anything for Jimmy G, and that not only are they going to give us something, but they would be willing to give us a little bit more, it would be the New England Patriots. You got Belichick out there. He knows Jimmy. He's comfortable with him. They're in desperate need of a quarterback. They sucked this year, but they didn't suck bad enough to be able to get one of the top quarterbacks. So they're kind of like in that middle position, Ronbo, but they really need a quarterback. You know what I mean? They really need a quarterback. And look,
you know, just
we
the
need
guy.
a quarterback too.
Yeah.
No, we need a quarterback too. But I got to say this. Hey, Bill Belichick convinced us to give them a second-round pick for Jimmy G after he only came in and played, 3-4 games in replacement of Tom Brady? All right, so we've, on the other hand, proven that he is serviceable enough to get you to a playoff game and get you to a Super Bowl. So I say he's at least worth a second round, maybe even a first-round pick to someone like the Patriots. You know what I mean? Because I feel like they would be willing to give that up. And their first-round pick, hey, that would be enough draft capital to make something happen with someone like Deshaun Watson. We'd be able to move around a couple of things and maybe offer him enough to get a guy like that. Because, look, whether it's Deshaun Watson or somebody else,
all right. That's what I wanted to do,
Ronbo.
because you've made that clear. Now, who are you going after if Deshaun Watson isn't available? And Aaron Rodgers, I doubt it. But who else you got in mind, Mike?
They're going to lose. Listen, they're going to lose. They're going to lose Sunday. You can write that down. They're going to lose. So.
But that doesn't
So
mean Rodgers leaving. He's just not getting comfortable in that offense, and his young wide receivers.
Comfortable, Ronbo.
Yeah, he looks pretty comfortable to me. I heard he was out there dancing and carrying on today. And those young wide receivers he had the year before last, when he was getting his brains beat out, they've matured and they look good. And I doubt very seriously.
Well, Ronbo, come on, look, tell me. Let me tell you. You know what? You always ask me. Let me ask you this question. All right, Ronbo. Let me flip the script on you a little bit. All right.
Okay.
All right. So, let's say we keep Jimmy G. All right. Next year, maybe we get to the playoff games, but we get knocked out. Or even worse, next year we get about halfway through the season and Jimmy G gets knocked out. What are you gonna say then, Ronbo? What is gonna be Ronbo's plan then? Because listen, whatever contracts we don't get handled now, we got a lot more contracts coming up. All right, and I got to tell you, people worried about $20 million of Trent Williams. What you need to be worried about is how many commas and zeros are going to come in Nick Bosa's contract, or how many commas and zeros are going to come with Fred Warner's contract.
Well, we got a fifth-year option with Nick.
So, okay, well, listen, I'm telling you, Ronbo, these are all contracts. It's already 2 years. He's 2 years now into it, even though it didn't feel that way because we only got 1 year out of him. Yeah. But he's 2 years. He's 2 years now into his contract. So you don't think that after his third year, he's not going to start looking for his extension? All right. So these guys are going to come into play, and guess what? That's all going to come to fruition at the same time of another disappointing ending to another Jimmy G-led season.
Mike.
And my question to you is, if that happens, Then what are you going to do? What's your plan? I want to know what your plan is.
There's no plan. Mike, you can't. Everybody who doesn't like Jimmy predicts he's going to get hurt. My thinking on that is, okay, get rid of Jimmy, bring in this other guy, mystery guy. What if he gets hurt? There's no way to predict who's going to get hurt, who's not. It's the only argument people are using now. I noticed.
Well, there's a thing, though,
Jimmy's got a history of
Ronbo,
getting hurt.
Well,
so does Nick. So does George Kittle.
It's not about who's predicting who's gonna get hurt.
You
Ronbo.
just
Listen,
did.
The guy's only played one season in which he played more than 7 games, Ronbo, in his entire freaking career. All right. Tom Brady's played more games, all right, since he busted his knee than Jimmy G's played in his entire freaking life. All right.
Hello, but you're going on past history.
Tom Brady's played in more playoff games than Jimmy G's played in regular season games in his entire freaking career, Ronbo.
Mike, slow down, Mike. We gotta be honest. Though. I know you've got a lot to say, Mike. You're gonna have plenty to say bad about him next time we talk. Save part 2 for Jimmy Bass for Friday.
It's not about saying bad.
Now, I get it. You don't want Jimmy G on this team.
No, it's not even about that. It's not even about that. Look, it's not even about that.
Mike, we're out of time, though.
What I do want, all right, look, I'm going to let you go. But listen,
okay.
what I do want is I want the consistency, Ronbo, that you get from a team that has a real friggin' quarterback.
You will,
we both agree to
if
that?
you allow him more than 1 year to play. You're not going to get any guy to play any better than that after 1 year. All the way to the Super Bowl?
Look down the list.
Forget about it.
Look down the list, Ronbo. Yeah, all you got to do. Forget about it. Look down the list. Who were the Saints before they got Drew Brees, Ronbo?
Drew Brees failed. Mike, history lesson.
Who were the Saints?
Drew Brees failed with the Chargers. You got to give some players a minute to get up there. All right, Mike, we got to go, Mike. Jimmy's, maybe he'll leave just for you. All right, we got to go. Oh, he hates me. I've seen a lot of hate for Jimmy, but Mike, I rank him in the top 5. He really hates Jimmy G. Jimmy, I don't know what to tell you, man. Listen, it's Norm. Come on in, Norm.
And it's Niners all day.
And twice on Sundays, and sometime on Monday night.
And today is hump day. And I see a lot of fans humping Deshaun Watson's picture right now because they are tired.
It's such a fantasy.
Me in my Jimmy G excuses. First of all, I didn't come on here to talk about Jimmy G. I came on here because I heard
he gets way too
about
much
a
beatings.
certain position that I feel needs a much bigger void than the quarterback position. That is the offensive line. Because I remember as a fan watching the 2 times in this decade that the 49ers were in a Super Bowl. And they had a stellar offensive line. I don't know this deal they have going on with Trent Williams. My prediction is a little cold for this one. Because I'm a realist type of fan, and I know that there are other teams out there that were mentioned earlier, like the Colts. You got other teams like the Bills or the Browns. Or the Browns got they got a good O-line. But you got teams like the Jaguars.
Yeah, they look really good this year, right?
They need O-line. They need a stellar offensive lineman like a Trent Williams. They're a veteran presence in their O-lines, to help them get back on point. And that's they're going to put a lot of money. It seems like they're going to put a lot of money on the table. They had the Niners like, man, look. And I think we in a cool space as far as cap space is. And I just heard that the cap went up on this podcast. So
and you knew it would. I mean, 170.
It gives a little more breathing room.
It
gives John Lynch a little more breathing. It gives the front office more breathing room.
They need to raise at least 10.
I, as a fan since 1991, I trust that, this front office, because our front office is not like going to be like the Jaguars front office this year. Guess who they have as their new general manager?
Just hired him, yes. Fresh hire just the other day, I think.
We could have those problems, guys. Oh, I could imagine some of y'all fans being on here if the new Jacksonville Jaguars new general manager was the general manager on this team. Oh, y'all would have heart attacks. This pandemic would not be the worst. Y'all would be the early recipients of that pandemic if y'all was here and that. I don't think half y'all was here for that, but that's none of my business. My thing is that I'm trusting that this front office is going to make the best decision. And unfortunately, from my perspective, I don't think that decision is either going to have him here for one more year or on to another team where they give him a better deal. He wants some money in his pocket. This is his last year. You're an OG like me. You want to get paid before you step out of here. So that's like, I look at it like that. If I'm 32, if I'm in my 30s, right? I've been one of the best, proven offensive linemen in the game.
And he should have got paid before now. Yeah, you can't sit around saying,
I'm trying to scrape every dollar out the pan. Yeah. Straight up. Now, speaking of best decisions, I heard somebody say the funniest thing of all time. Okay, Deshaun Watson scored 33 touchdowns, 7 INTs behind a crappy O-line in Houston. All garbage time, but yes. My thing is this. Would you give up 3 first round? If you were a general manager, Ronbo, I know because if I was a general manager, even if Trent Baalke was our general manager, would he give up 3 first rounders, 3 years worth of first round picks, your defensive rookie of the year, and your 2 of your best rookies, and the camaraderie of your locker room, which has been the most solid that it's been in decades.
I can say honestly and
decades.
unequivocally, hell to the no.
We've seen in this locker room in decades. You want to give that up for one guy who has not proven that he has been a championship pedigree, who has not even been past the divisional round. Thank you very much.
If you've been in an argument, you know what? You'll get an argument and excuses for Sean. That's because dudes, listen, that Batman guy. We're sitting arguing on Twitter. He's giving away
a person who's
column of excuses.
3 Super Bowls, 2 as the backup, and 1 as the starter. This man has 3 years of Super Bowl experience under his belt. You want to get rid of him for somebody who's not even been to the divisional round? Are you kidding me? Oh wait, no wait. Yeah. The Texans did make the divisional round. They did. I think they.
No, they made the playoffs, but they got ran out.
He put them in their own house. I remember that. He hasn't even made it to the divisional round. So why do I want a quarterback like that?
What's what I'm saying? I like Watson. I know he's talented, but I said, I don't know about giving up all them picks. Okay, maybe he's more talented than Jimmy. Okay, but 3 first-round picks and Nick, you better go. No.
Our fan base is undergoing a serious pandemic right now, and I want everybody to go put your Niner mask on. Go get your nose checked. Go do the little snazzy chest that they be doing over at Walgreens and stuff. This is a serious pandemic. Like this off season is going to be very funny. I just want to sit back and watch. My prediction as far as tonight goes, with Trent Williams goes, wherever he goes, I wish him the best. But as a veteran who's ready, I just think that if I was in that position, I'd scrape everything out the pan that I can get. So ain't no telling what's going to happen with them deals. Somebody going to come with a better deal, I think. I have a feeling there's.
Cowherd also put it best too. Kyle's not going to want somebody that's going off schedule and being Deshaun Watson. He needs to be allowed to be Deshaun Watson. Kyle his scheme is set up because it runs by X's and O's, not Watson taking off out of the pocket, doing a lot of creative things.
I just want to say I'm not going to discredit anybody as a fan of this team. Okay, all I'm saying is that this is what Steve Young. I feel like this is deja vu. Steve Young was going through the same thing before he won a Super Bowl. So
I'm not just trying to tell people they don't want to give him any time. We've seen enough. Get him out. He's only played 1 full year. So
right. And second, we gotta go.
Real quick, Norris, we gotta go.
shout out to the fans, man. And just, I'm not going to discredit none of y'all as a fan. I'm just saying that the sickness that is going on with this empire, we are not none of y'all are employed by the front office. So I suggest to just take a leave from a forever faithful and just trust in the front office that they're going to do the best job, because we don't have Trent Baalke anymore, and it's Niners all day.
Norm, have a great night. I'll see you Friday.
Peace.
Oh, God. Hey, and there he is, D. Owl.
Ronbo, what's going on, brother?
D, man, it's that void between, there's that emptiness of, we have to wait till the playoffs is gone before the real action gets underway. And, you still see little tidbits and things that scare you, like Trent Williams probably needing $80 million. And actually, the dude Bakhtari over in Green Bay, I think he gets paid $23 a year. That would mean he is getting more money. I don't know how many years are on his contract, but Trent is probably expecting to be the top paid left tackle in the NFL. Ooh, if that be the case, my goodness. But Dion, as I said, 91.5 among tackles. The dude is just a machine. His pass blocking 85.6. Parag will say, all right, Trent, we love you. We think you're the best left tackle in the league. Can we offer you 4 years, $80 million? I'm going to give you $64 million guaranteed right now. And we're going to 42 point this at your time you sign. It will not be adequate. Well, Bakhtari is getting paid okay, well, that's, I guess, okay. Like you didn't hear me. But D, what are you thinking?
Well, you sound like a very shrewd negotiator there, Ronbo. It's not too bad. But
it's gonna be rough.
It's gonna be rough. Here's the hard thing for these players. They got to get their money while they can.
Mm-hmm.
The only issue is that we have to make sure that anybody that comes back, whether we're giving them a new contract, whatever, they got to understand that they got to take a discount. I would love to have everybody come back and be able to pay them, but they're just going to have to understand that this year money is tight. We got to figure out what we're going to do. And I need you to, understand that, hey, I got you on the back end. The next year, we're going to be good. But this year, if we sign a contract, we can pay you. But I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to have to get you your bonus. We're going to have to do other things. There's a variety of things that will come into play. So hopefully Trent will, understand that and want to stay somewhere where everything is cool. The new offensive line coach that we got was his first offensive line coach in Washington. He's got a real good connection with him. So that's another reason that he could possibly stay with us. I don't knock him if he goes out and gets his bread. He purposely didn't want to be franchise tag because, he knew that would limit him. So I respect the dude wanting to get his money. But
especially in this game,
I can say we should be good to go. I understand everybody's got their Jimmy G hate and they're focused on Deshaun Watson and all that, but Deshaun's going to cost too much. I'm sorry. He's just going to cost way too much. And I've heard some of the most ridiculous things of what we should give up, and 3 first-round picks and Jimmy G, and maybe Nick Bosa should be included, or we should throw George Kittle in there.
Sean has never been that good. What? And some people are okay in that deal. I get the GTF.
I don't care who you are. I ain't giving up 3 first-round picks for nobody. Not Tom Brady, not Deshaun Watson, not Joe Montana, not Steve Young. I don't care who you are. You ain't getting 3 first-round picks out of me, and I'm giving you a starting quarterback? You must be out of your mind.
One of the best terrorists coming off the edge? Oh, no.
Yeah, so, I'm okay, I'm going to get one dude and mortgage the rest of my future, okay? This is not the New Orleans Saints when Ricky Williams was there for number 1 overall draft pick, and they gave up their whole draft just to go up to number 1. And Mike Dicker wore a damn dreadlock wig, for God's sake.
I remember that.
So,
God. So I'm loving those deals.
And for the guy in front of me,
Okay, look, I'm the impressionist on Ronbo's show. Don't you try to take my job. Because, you know, at the end of the day, Trent Baalke did get a job. He's going to make the Jaguars the worst team in franchise history for a very long time. You know, he has a crappy track record. He was never any good while he was here with us. But Shad Khan saw it fit to get that man a job. So, you know, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I don't draft anyone, that I do nothing in free agency, that the Jaguars suck for years to come. And I'm out. That's just how it's going to work.
And Trent, he'll never, ever draft a wide receiver in the first round for the Jags. Trent's still snake pit behind Jake Jenkins. AJ was
Because he
still.
was an idiot for drafting him. Who drafts A.J. Jenkins in the first round? A.J. Jenkins didn't show up and playing football until he got to Kansas City. And it was like, come on, man. How you gonna magically learn how to catch the ball after you leave?
I know.
It was like when we had Brandon Lloyd. Lloyd had alligator arms.
I know,
left
but
and wound up
wasn't he
starting-
good when he left? And when he came back that year, not bad.
He was good.
Uh,
Yeah, he wasn't that bad, but it's us for this year. Everybody that we signed knows they have to take a discount, knows they have a lot at stake, and it's going to be a loyalty thing. We know that we are actually going to make sure that we get everything that we can out of every player that we can, and these guys are just going to have to go suck it up and say, hey, man, I'm going to take a little bit of a pay cut this year, but I already know that this team is solid, everything is good, and with all of the moving parts are moving in the right direction. It's a promote from within. So it's not unfamiliar faces. I'm happy that Scangarello was back working with the QBs because that'll help with Jimmy and his development, you know. And to be honest, it's just a matter of us staying healthy this year, man, and not getting bit by this injury bug. We're just plagued by it.
That's
We
all
get
it was
beat
last
up.
year. That's
You
all it was
know,
last year. And everybody wants to
and-
make all these drastic moves. I said, man, that ain't.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary.
I mean, it's real. You know me, Ronbo. It's real simple. There's two major players you can cut to give us some free cap space to be able to make some money. Cut D Ford and cut Western Richburg. That's $30 million right there. At least 20
Does
to
that
30
add up to
mil
30
right
mil?
there.
It's about right,
Almost
God.
30 mil. Because D Ford's getting paid like 18 or something like that, and then I believe Weston's getting paid like 10. So if you get that kind of money, man, you get that kind of money free. Even if, you know, Alex Mack is a free agent, go ahead and go get him. I don't mind putting Ben Garner behind Alex Mack.
And
There you go. You have the perfect guy, and if you are able to sign Alex Mack, put
That's
him
the
as a center,
signing you
and then
do
have Trent
without
Williams,
hesitation. Yeah.
and then have Trent Williams, because Alex is going to be cheaper, and have Trent Williams come back as their left tackle. If we could just find a way for, you know, us to just go ahead and put Mike McGlinchey on the back burner and throw Daniel Brunskill at right tackle. Oh man. Oh man. That just means we got the guard positions to worry about, but we gotta go.
We gotta go, D. Hey, you know what, D? I tell you what, I want to see you Friday and get more D wisdom as much as we can. I like that D wisdom. Then also, he's at Swift D E 2 E's on Twitter, Instagram 49er _Dion, and also he says Niner Gang podcast. D, you know, man, I tell you.
Appreciate you, brother, man. You have a wonderful evening. Thank you for what you do. Nothing but love to you, Ronbo.
Thanks, D.
Stay blessed, brother. Let's continue to have a great year. Let's hope that this year use us a vaccine for this stupid virus that won't go away, and use us some damn football in the stands so we can watch 49er fans take over again. That's always the most beautiful thing when we go into someone else's house and we take over. Have a good night. Have a good night, Ronbo.
You too, D. Thank you, fam. 49ers Ultimate reports that why would Kyle pass on Watson in 2017 to get him for 3 first-round picks? Good. But now let me put that is so. I mean, people don't understand. Watson hasn't done enough in the 3 years that Chet has had him to make him want to give up 3 first-round picks and a player. So that deal is off the table already. Jimmy G haters, Jimmy is week 1 starter, like it or not. And this is pretty much the thing. Jimmy, if anything, people should know Kyle's ego and Lynch is not going to get rid of him before that contract is over. They believe they have something in him. They've committed too far. And they know he's got potential. I know he's got potential. A lot of us know he's got potential. He just needs to stay his butt standing straight up. If we ever get Jimmy G to not get hurt, people are going to be surprised. I can see it in him. It's just like the same thing with Steve Young, like we were talking about earlier. Because he comes up after Joe Montana. Boo, boo. Steve Young's in the Hall of Fame. You got to wait. Don't be making them snap those knee-jerk things. You know all about Jimmy G. You don't know more than Kyle Shanahan. Let it alone. I don't mean you're not going to let it alone. I'm just telling you, let it alone. Steven. Oh, by the way, wait. Let me tell, what's that? Seahawks Rain doesn't know we have no Pro Bowlers. Somebody fill him in. Oh, my God. Steven.
Ronbo.
Steven, we're just.
Oh, man.
Steve, I'm sitting here concerned about is $20 million going to be enough for the best left tackle in the NFL? And after hearing about how the Indy team now has lots and lots of money after losing their left tackle retired, Philip Rivers has said, "I got to go. I'm done." All of a sudden, they got a lot of change. Somebody. Anthony just said they're number 2 now as far as money to spend. Can we hold on? Get outbidded?
We actually might get outbidded. Unless Trent Williams says he actually really likes the 49ers and he's really about it and he's okay with taking a pay cut, which would be one in a miracle.
Not going to happen.
I would not gouge him going to Indianapolis at all. I wouldn't put it past him. He's all about.
And he'll like
money.
that
He's
too.
And at the end of the day, he's a businessman, and it's sports is sports, but there's also business in that aspect when it becomes a professional level playing.
True.
I got to get my bread because if I don't get it as soon as I can or on my way out, then what am I stuck with after I leave? I'm gonna be I'll have some money saved, but I'll still somewhat be struggling because I want to live comfortably. I don't want to have to consistently keep working myself after doing this hefty gig.
Mm-hmm.
So I see I could see him parting ways, even though I think all the fan base would really love for him to come back, and do another season with us. But we have a lot of people we need to sign, and that's one thing that Mike said. We got a lot of contracts we have on our plate now, but if we're worried about now instead of next year, that's another problem we're going to hit. Yeah, the cap space is up, but how many people are we going to bring back for next year? We don't know. But as for everything else he said, Jimmy, we're going to keep him regardless. I know he hates him, but we're going to keep him because no one else has studied that playbook better than anyone else, and that showed when we had to replace him. Nick Mullins didn't do a good job with the play. CJ Beathard didn't do a good job with the play. He is our QB1, and he's going to stay our QB1, and, we'll probably just stick with what we have for the draft. Granted, if Trent walks, that's fine. For money reasons, that's fine. That means we can keep some of the guys that we want to keep. Granted, our offensive line's a little bit weaker, but hopefully, during this offseason, our O-line gets better, becomes more sturdier. Hopefully Brunskill, or Scully, however you want to say his name, they get good. McGlinchey starts eating, he becomes more aggressive. There's a lot of factors. Now, I want to go ahead and throw this out there. As for Deshaun Watson, I'm tired of hearing about Deshaun Watson. I'm tired of hearing it. It's not going to happen.
And he's become bigger than life. Watson's a good football player, but people are making Deshaun Watson sound like he's all world and the GOAT already. I said, Watson's good, but good Lord, I don't know if he's like the kind of good that people are calling him right at the moment.
No, absolutely not. I'm telling you, Ronbo, the thought of trading Nick Bosa and, 2 draft-round picks?
Oh,
or
and
3 draft-round picks?
first-rounders.
Insane.
Oh.
Insane. That's dumb. That is the dumbest business. I'm so glad a majority of the fan base that thinks that is a good move are not working for the Niners front office. I'm so glad because that is That's dumb. That's the dumbest move. Now, if we were to trade away Jimmy, I can see the Patriots, begging him to come back because
He'd
Belichick
have a
knows
job.
him. They're in desperate need. He has a job lined up. So he's like, whatever, you guys don't want me? Screw it. You guys can use me for playing chips. And Belichick will do something to get it because he convinced us after 3 games of Jimmy G playing for the Patriots, he somehow convinced us that Jimmy G was the move. And we took him almost immediately. So,
And
obviously,
and when he came in that day for CJ, there's no doubt about this guy could play quarterback. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
But a lot of his haters got over that quick. But that's fine. As I said, when Jimmy G gets fully comfortable in Kyle Shanahan's offense, you'll probably see that same Jimmy G come back. But he needs to be able to stay on the field, get used to Kyle's offense, and be able to manipulate within Kyle's system. This is what's paramount to Kyle Shanahan. He doesn't want a guy that's running around out there doing too many things on his own. You got to stick to the plan. That's why they call Kyle a genius. He designed that. He knows it's going to be effective, but you need to do what you're told. And that's why he likes guys like Jimmy and quarterbacks like that.
Because look at a lot of the QBs that that are kind of like road QBs, like Mahomes. Look at who else? That secondary QB for the Rams. They were all mobile and everything, and they got hurt. The Rams QB got it the worst.
I mean, I thought they
Mahomes
he broke his neck. And same with Mahomes. And he broke his neck. Yeah. You got to – your protection's in the pocket. You should orchestrate from there.
Yeah, there's a huge risk factor in a mobile QB because by him leaving and running, that's going to leave that either defensive end to think, okay, I'm gonna paint the ground with this dude's jersey. I can't wait. Please come out. And that we saw what happened when when Nick Mullins tried to run. That didn't look well at all for us at all. We're like, okay, that's not good. That can't happen.
Yeah,
but we had no other option.
Yeah.
So bringing in Deshaun Watson, it's an expensive risk factor. I'll put it like that. It's an expensive risk factor that we cannot afford. Period.
$35
we have a lot of
mil in 2022. Yeah.
That just takes up too much of our green. It takes up too much of our green, and we're already complaining about Trent Williams, but we want to sign Deshaun Watson.
And Jimmy's salary too. Huge complaints. He's not worth $27 million. Well, you know what? Can we wait for one more season with Jimmy to find out whether or not he's $27 million or not? He could be a bargain at $27 million, which is what Shannon and Lynch thought way back when they signed him, looking forward. So, yeah, I'm not sold on being trash.
I don't get it, Ronbo. I don't get it. Everyone hates Jimmy G right now. Everyone hates him. And I'm like,
about 75%. You're right. They don't care about that. Listen, Steve, don't you love the argument? Jimmy had nothing to do with it. Okay. No. I'm done talking. You know what? Because if we don't win against the Saints, we don't get the top seed. If we don't sweep the Rams, we don't get the top seed. If Jimmy doesn't carry us past the Cardinals, we don't get the top seed. But you guys forgot about that. Continue to forget. I don't think the coaching staff did. So I'm fine with the argument. I'm amused at it by now. So it's okay. But anyway, we got to go, though, fam.
It's so dumb, almost. It's like, I don't have any milk in my cereal. That's Jimmy G's fault.
Shut up. They'll get over it next year. Steve, we got to go. And we see you Friday, okay?
All right, I'll be here, Ronbo. Shout out to the Niner Empire. You guys are great.
You too, fam. Night. And Seahawks Rain, let me give you the Pro Bowlers so you can stop writing that. It's burning me up. All right, Fred Warner. Okay, remember him? All right, Kyle Juszczyk goes every year, Seahawks Rain, no matter where he is. And also Trent Williams, the best tackle in the league. Seahawks Rain, every time you speak, I always see it's easy to abuse you. You should probably stop posting. But I like you. You're very funny and easy to beat up on. Tom!
Ronbo!
Come on in, Tom.
What's happening?
Oh, look at Trent Williams and his $80 million. And I'm wondering, 4 years, $80 million, is that going to be enough money? I don't know now.
I don't know. I just, if he wants $20 million, we could probably swing that, but anything over, nope.
I know, right? And somebody's going to offer it to him. And I think it's going to be Indy. Their left tackle just retired. They need a quarterback, though. So we're going to see.
Yeah. That one caller, what's his name? He doesn't like Jimmy G at all, does he?
Oh, Niner Mike? Oh, Niner Mike is Jimmy's. Niner Mike looks at Jimmy as the Antichrist. Oh, he hates him so bad. It's getting worse, too. Every time Mike calls in, I wasn't even going to talk. He didn't want to talk about Trent Williams tonight. He went right to work on Jimmy. I said, oh!
Wait. Is that Niner Mike from Nothing But Niners?
I don't know. Is there? Oh no, you're talking about that's another Mike. No, this Mike is
okay. Yeah.
East Coast Mike, and that Niner Mike is that guy. He's from East Coast too. Niner Mike is like the Brooklyn accent. You can tell Mike is like really New Yorker. You know, if there's an accent that defines a New Yorker, it's that one. Niner Mike is hardcore. I love that dude though. His emotions and his passion are fun. He's wrong though.
I mean, no quarterback can be good behind this O-line. It was just, we thought it was good, and it's just not this year. So that's the priority, to get our offensive line elite like it was. Like, I don't know who the last caller. Yeah, like the Harbaugh team, that was a great offensive line. And last year, our offensive line was pretty good too.
Yeah.
And this year it dropped off.
Offensive line, the pieces the 5 guys need to stay together. You can't keep shuffling guys in and out. They're not going to have continuity. So that it's going to become a problem. We had more than that as a problem, though. You know, Jimmy can get rid of the ball faster depending on who he's playing with. Remember he had Trent Taylor and Marquise Goodwin, and how quickly he got rid of the ball? Why? Because those guys are lightning quick, and they got separation quickly. Now, I think Debo's got that kind of talent, too. Debo usually guys, unless they put the top defender on him. That did happen one game, I remember last year. But Ayuk can gain separation. Debo can do it, too, most of the time. They'll find, and that'll allow Jimmy to not be so overly concerned with how well the offensive line does. He's got one of the quickest releases in the league. That's why I say, people get on Jimmy. They forgot about some of his talents, and they just dwell upon every mistake he's ever made, ever INT. Learning Kyle's offense. He's only had a year and a few games to learn that. I say, wait a minute. And I said this before on other players, and I was absolutely right. I know I'm right this time, too, about this guy. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tom.
Oh, God. Oh, just tell this freaking idiot on Road Rage to shut up. I mean, who cares about your Patriots? Yeah, you guys are done. Yeah. Your team is in rebuild right now. Yep. We whooped your tail this season, and then last time with Harbaugh, we played you with Brady. We still beat you, so we own you.
And he's got to feel bad about the fact that Tom left him, and Tom is in the playoffs, and the Patriots are trying to find their way to get a first-round draft pick.
But I mean, maybe they'll take Jimmy. I mean, I don't know.
And you know what? The conversation could come up. I could see that actually. Because Belichick knows what Billy's capable of, but I think the 49ers do too. That's not going to be something they're going to say yes to. I don't think.
Oh, kiss the 6 rings. Are you kidding me? Wow, you got one more than us. The hell out of here.
The Patriot fans, they're such has-beens. They're about to go into rebuild mode. I give the Hawks one more year of they'll probably do well in the regular season, as they always do, somehow. And then they'll get flushed out in the playoffs. I think that'll be the last time the owner will let that happen, though. It's going to be funny who's rebuilding next year.
I heard that they're over the cap right now, I heard.
Hawks?
The Seahawks. Yeah.
And they haven't paid Adams?
I think I don't know. I'd have to do some more research.
Adams finished his contract this past year. So if they're over the cap, they're going to have to get rid of a lot of people in order to pay Adams.
Yes.
And Russell Wilson's getting paid. And people talk about a quarterback getting paid so much money he can't pay anybody else. Wilson's getting paid incredible money, too.
Yeah, I know. And that's not good for a team. But you never give up talent like Wilson. I mean, he's great. But he can't, as you've been seeing, he can't win. He can't win by himself.
Yeah. DK should have been the answer, but they figured him out, I think, already, which is really funny. Tyler Lockett.
And he's a diva, man.
Yeah, he's going to have to stop that. But with Jimmy.
But I'd love to have him on the Niners. I mean, if he wants to leave, you're welcome here with open arms.
I wanted him in the draft that year. I didn't know we were going to get Debo, but I definitely wanted DK. I'm delighted with Debo, though, because he brings a lot more diversity to the game than DK does.
Definitely.
But, man, dang. So,
yeah.
we'll
And
find out,
about the Watson trade, I mean, I don't know if I've never heard any trade that has 3 first-rounders and Bosa. No way. Well, we would never give into that, and I'd never even heard that. I think it was 2 firsts and Bosa.
Listen.
But I still wouldn't give that up.
Everything you're hearing is mostly fan-driven and, to some degree, media-driven. You're gonna see it every day, like we did last year with Tom Brady.
Yeah. Actually, I have a hypothetical for you about Bosa in a few years. Let's see. Okay, when his rookie contract is up and he wants $30 million, are you going to give it to him?
Ooh, hey, is that the going rate for edge rushers now? Though he's got it.
No, but Joe Bosa's getting that.
Is Joey's getting 30?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
And I think Bosa's better than Joey.
He is.
So I don't know. So I don't know. I just wanted your opinion because I asked somebody else and he said, yeah, definitely.
I got no opinion. I'm scared. No, you know what? We got a couple of years, and the cap's going to expand to keep up with the you know, what do they call it? Anyway, cost of living for football players. You got to give. The NFL's got this all figured out.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, the cost of living, and then the in California, and then the income tax.
Yeah, all that has to go. We gotta go though, fam. I'll see you Friday.
All right.
Hopefully you got some time, huh?
Yeah, most likely.
All right. Have a
all
good
right.
night.
Well, go Niners, even though, and I don't know who I'm rooting for in the NFC Championship, but it doesn't even matter.
I know, not really. Huh?
I just don't want the Chiefs to win. Is that too much to ask?
No, I'm hardcore Bills this week. I think I'll ignore, and you know what?
Yeah.
I think I will ignore Green Bay, Tampa Bay. I'm going to be watching Bills, Chiefs.
Yes.
Yes, that's the game to get behind.
All right.
See you Friday.
All right. Take care.
You too, man.
See ya.
49ers Ultimate Report says, and thanks for that contribution, 49ers Ultimate Report, $27.5 million for a quarterback is a bargain. It absolutely is. Actually is. Hey, Jamie.
Yeah, Ronbo.
Jamie, man, I was sitting there looking at some of our costs and fantasizing about it. Okay, let me get 49ers Ultimate Report because I apparently can't wait. Joey Bosa, Nick's brother, $135 million for 5 years. Thanks, Ultimate Report. You know, I think, what was I saying? See, that's why I didn't want to do that.
The cost of Williams.
Yeah, at 20 mil, and I was fantasizing. Hopefully, you could have that conversation with Williams, and it is a fantasy. You say, listen, we're going to give you this much this year in order to be able to maintain the roster potency we have right now. Listen, next year this kicks in, and this kicks in, and we're going to give you this a 4-year deal. So it continues to grow on every season. But then,
well, see, they can add bonuses to it for the first season.
Yeah.
So that he would get his large at the end of the season. He would get his bonus money.
Yeah.
So, and then that would make it up to where whatever they're trying to pawn him off of us for. I think they'll cover it. But I got another guy that I put the link of the video. Chase from Washington. Chase Young or whatever. Yeah. This guy handled him with one hand, the entire game.
Oh, you gave me the link on that, did you? Are you linked up? Are you on Twitter? Or what is your name on Twitter?
Yeah, it's on Twitter. JLC Niners.
Oh, you're JLC. You don't use an avatar. I see you. That's you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me. So if you get on there and click on that, the guy's name's Rashawn Slater. Watch that YouTube video I put the link on there.
I can't wait. How big is this?
Oh, dude, one hand. He's not great big, but he's a left tackle. So if they do get Trent Williams off of us, this guy's going to go probably mid-first to mid-second somewhere. So there is another guy other than that Oregon guy.
I was going to say there's a guy in Oregon too that everybody's aiming at too.
Yeah,
He'll go top
yeah,
10.
we're not gonna be able to get nothing around that guy. But this guy, he's gettable. And then there's a wide receiver that I wanted to mention to you. His name is Marquise Stevens.
Okay, because somebody, I thought that was you
out
put
of
down
Houston?
some guy with name starts with a W, as I remember. But you know, Marquise who?
Stevens
Okay.
out of Houston.
Does he run a 4.3?
And he's a 4.3.
Okay, so that's
And he does returning too. Yeah, that was me talking about this guy.
I want somebody to blow the
And,
top off that defense. Yes.
Yeah, either him or Waddle, but Waddle's way
Waddle's
up there
who I
in
was
the
talking
draft
about.
too. Like,
Yeah.
the Waddle Chase are the two up top that I would want. I'm not that big on Smith because he don't have a lot of speed and he's kind of small.
It's kind of small.
Like
the
he's
dude
a really
needs to start
yeah.
eating now. That boy is bony. Bony. Oh
Yeah,
my
and-
God. 175. You win your 6'1" or whatever. Oh my God, that
Yeah.
stint. He'd last 5 minutes in the NFL.
Well, you notice he didn't really have a big season until his senior year, and that's not good.
He's probably
Like,
thin the whole time.
Yeah, and you know you're younger and you're not all filled out, and you go up against the juniors and seniors when you're freshmen. The ones that pop when they're freshmen and sophomore, those are the ones you want to really look at.
Boy, and then you get them grown men in the NFL hitting him now. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So,
he would be the IR quick.
Chase looks pretty tough. Like, Chase is the first one I'd take. He goes over the middle, and the dude, he's got moves. He's got moves like Pettis. Like, he can get instant separation.
Yeah. All right. And he's quick, too?
He's like, yeah, he's quick, but he's not fast. He's like Rice. He runs as fast as he has to.
Debo's like that, too.
Yeah, he's not going to let him catch him.
Debo says that's what inspires him, but he's motoring down the field. He says, I don't want him hitting me. So, you know, all of a sudden, the adrenaline kicks in on those kind of – I like that kind of ball player. If the adrenaline can motor him a whole game, fine. You know?
Yeah.
So –
yeah, well, the other guys can have the blazing speed. I just won't let them catch me.
yeah. I just want that kind of speed to take to send fear through guys like the Honey Badger, you know, because Tyrann Mathieu, man, he actually, boy, I tell you, that's the kind of guy you got to do something with him, or else he disrupts your defense. So,
yeah, this Stevens guy, he's like a 4.3 flat.
Oh,
I looked at, so he's freaking fast. I watched on one of his highlight reels, he caught the ball at a dead stop, and there was like three guys barreling down on him like 5 yards away, and he just gunned it and ran away from a dead
that's what
stop.
I'm talking about.
Yeah,
the dude's fast as a speedy bullet. No matter who the quarterback is, he threw a bullet down the field, and this dude still had to wait. Oh! So anybody standing behind him, if you're 2 steps behind him, forget it.
And he does returning, too. He can return punts.
And you know that guy in the Saints have that killed us on every return that last year in 2019? See, that's the kind of speed that scares me.
Yeah, the one that returned one against Tampa and they called it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's crazy fast little guy.
Yes. And little and fast like that is terrible. Oh,
yeah,
man.
This guy's a little bit bigger. I think he's like 6'2" or something, the Stevens, but
Is that big?
yeah, he's probably going to go mid-second to mid-third, something like that. So we can go up there and grab him. Like, if Kyle wants a fast guy, he can go get one. The guy's right there. I don't know if he'll look at him because he's
They
from
probably know
Houston.
about all the speed around the draft anyway, but we'll see. Jamie, also,
you
was
know,
that you posted up, because we're almost out of time, let me ask you a real quick question. Was that you posted up, oh no, that was Chris Wall. It seems that Jerick McKinnon was asked if he was going to return to 49ers, and he gave it not only a no, but a hell no, and said some expletives. I guess he's not happy. I don't know where that came from.
I seen that post. I seen that post that was on your your Twitter account, but I didn't read it.
What?
I just glanced at it. Once I seen his name, I'm like, oh well.
I can understand why. Jim, we gotta go though.
Yeah.
I'll see you Friday, okay?
Okay, make sure and look at that one I told you though, Slater. He
I
one-armed
gotta know
him
you,
like
JLC.
multiple times.
Yeah, I know just
So
where to go.
yeah, it's good.
All right.
All right.
All right, fam.
Talk
Have a good
Friday.
night, Jamie. Look forward. Jordan Jones, always loved from Amarillo. Jordan Jones, always loved from Amarillo. Go Niners. As you know who does that, right? We start doing those. 605 Maryland.
Hi, Ronbo. It's from South Dakota.
Okay. Got MD next to. Oh, hey, who is that? What is your name?
Yep. Scott.
Scott. Hey,
Scott from South Dakota.
Scott.
I'm a long-time 49er fan. My very first game, my dad, rest his soul, brought me to Kezar Stadium.
Wow.
When I was like 12, 13 years old. I go back to the John Brody, Gene Washington, Jimmy Johnson, Dave Wilcox days. So I've been following this team for a long time, and I love them.
Hey, what is your name again? It's Scott. Scott, were you living in Dakota when your dad brought you out to Kezar?
Not then. Back then, my family, we lived in southern Santa Clara County, like the Gilroy, Morgan Hill area.
Yeah.
And so I saw plenty of games in the glory days with Joe Montana and stuff at Candlestick. But boy, I hope people give Jimmy at least one more solid year. I think that hiring back of Rich Scangarello sends a signal.
Part of that.
And there was an article today that was on the 49er web zone. It was written by Tim Sprinkles, and he goes back to 2017 on an article written by that Nick Wagner of ESPN. And Jimmy says this of Rich. He says, he's a smart coach, and he makes it a lot easier for me to go through my reads when he explains things how I understand them. And we know how Kyle seems to have problems communicating with Jimmy. Well, maybe Rich is that, as the article says, a quarterback whisperer. And so, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then I wanted to put your mind at ease a little bit with regard to the Colts, because I read an article that the Colts are considering having their all-pro guard, Quentin Nelson, who's a former Notre Dame teammate of McGlinchey, move to left tackle.
Ooh.
And they, of course, they're going to have to invest money into a new quarterback with Rivers retiring. And so maybe they're not, going to be looking for a left tackle. But one team that does concern me is Jacksonville, because, good old Trent Baalke, they're probably going to take Trevor Lawrence, and they're going to want to protect him, which I don't blame them.
And
Florida doesn't have a state.
He'd love to knife the 49ers in the back, wouldn't he?
He might. A little more motivation. And Florida doesn't have a state income tax, so the Niners are going to have to really sell their culture. They're closer. Jacksonville is a rebuild, and Trent's up there in age, so he might not be interested in that. But they can definitely offer him a lot more money because they have the most cap space, I believe, in the whole NFL.
$100 million, from what I heard.
Yeah.
A few people they want to resign, but they don't have to, I guess.
No, but that might be our number one competition for Trent. The two Trents.
And Trent probably doesn't want to go to the Jets. You know what? You brought up something, Scott. I don't know if Trent is really all excited about going to a team that's in need of a lot of things. I forgot about that aspect.
Yes. And a previous caller said, the Niners have a close friend of Trent Williams who's on our offensive line coach staff. And then I know that Trent respects Kyle and John, and people who want to willy-nilly trade Jimmy G, they're forgetting about the culture that John and Kyle put so much blood, sweat, and tears to build. And the Niner teammates love Jimmy. They go through a wall for him.
Yeah.
And, but I saw, JD Hawkhater.
Yeah.
He ran a little private poll, and it was 110 Niner fans, and 62% wanted to keep Jimmy.
Really? I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of us out here, actually. But,
Yeah, the
but the
silent
loudest
majority.
people are the ones that hate him. Maybe.
That's right. The squeaky wheel, you know. And there's that one sports commentator who now works for Sports Illustrated. We all know who that is. I consider him Eddie Haskell 2.0. You remember Leave It to Beaver?
Yes.
Always stirring up trouble. And every day he's got 4 articles, you know, about trading Jimmy, and now he's got one maybe to staff, you know, for Stafford. And I think he needs therapy. I think Grant needs therapy.
Scott, you know what's really funny? I've considered, just for entertainment's sake, I say, I'm going to, because Grant and I are friends. Hey, Grant, you know what? Let's get together on a show, and let's go back and forth. You are definitely get rid of Jimmy and get something else.
Oh.
Grant came on a post and said, I was arguing with somebody else, and Grant came in and added some things, and I said, good. Because Grant did say one thing about, though. He says, Deshaun Watson is not worth any, he's overrated as far as picks go. Jimmy's way below average. And he said one other thing, but he sort of appeased both of us. But at any rate, Grant on the show, and Grant says, Grant, you are the anti-Jimmy. You know I'm the pro-Jimmy. Let's go back and forth and allow people to call in. I might still do that.
Yeah.
Grant, I know. I'm going to get you, Grant.
Yes, that would be must-see TV. You know, and I know that people say, you know, Deshaun Watson. I recall he had a 24-0 lead against Kansas City in a playoff game. He didn't bring the Texans home to victory with a 24-0 lead.
You know what people say about that, Scott? I was in an argument with a guy yesterday about that. They say it was everybody's fault except for Deshaun. See, this is what I think.
Yeah.
It was the coach's fault. It was this person's fault. It was that. I said, you know, you'll give every excuse in the world for Deshaun, but if I make one excuse about Jimmy, oh, man, that's not right. That's not true. That's not blah, blah. Okay, well.
I know. It frustrates me. So I have watched this team since 69, 70, and yes, we've been so blessed. And I think it was a caller that you said we also, though, are under the curse. Maybe it was on another channel. It could have been Nothing But Niners, but they said it's also a kind of a curse having had Montana and Young, because we have, you know, that high standard, which is great, but it's like we're ready to just throw the baby out with the bathwater at the first sign of trouble.
Mm-hmm. And Scott, next time you get in an argument with somebody who says that, remind them that Joe Montana and Steve Young did not go to the Super Bowl or start getting rings in their first season, in their first full season.
That's right.
You know, that's just absurd.
Absolutely.
I mean, give this kid a chance. Give him at least one more season.
I agree. Let him see what he does with Rich back, and, you know, just get, you know, he hasn't had a chance to play with all our full component of great players in Kittle and Ayuk and Debo. My goodness. And we're hoping, of course, with Jalen Hurd coming back, hopefully. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
know,
about.
Injuries
now
happen.
we got weapons. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
We are Super Bowl caliber, and the rest of the league darn well knows it with Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to leave you there, Ronbo. God bless.
All right, Scott. Good stuff, Scott. Don't be a stranger. Now we got you. When you call in, we're going to know it's you. Get on back here. Friday,
All right.
I'll be back.
Good. Go Niners.
Yeah. Scott out in Dakota. That's a beautiful part of the country, too. All right, Shay, come on in, Shay. I forgot, man.
What's up, Ronbo?
Shay, man, I mean, tonight, of course, every night's going to be Jimmy G night, but the thing is, I'm also concerned about losing Trent T. Dub. I'm thinking that deal the PFF has lined up, 4 years, $80 million, will that make the big man stay? Or hey, but what Scott just said, I don't have to worry about Indy coming in and swooping him up, since they've already got another plan. I can't imagine what quarterback they'll be going after. We'll see. Anyway, they might not be a part of the equation, but he's right about
Colts got some free agents coming up.
Who?
Colts got some free agents coming up, too, because they still got to play Darius Leonard. I promise you, Darius Leonard and his agent are going to watch. are going to watch what they pay, what they pay Warner, and
No,
he's
no,
probably
they
going to get
can't.
around the same thing,
They can tell
a
Fred.
little bit less.
They can tell Darius, look, Darius, according to Aaron Rodgers, you're not Fred Warner. We ain't giving you Fred Warner money.
True.
I hope so. I will laugh.
But those two were like the both highest ranked linebackers this year. They
Yeah, I
did really
know.
good. So
Was
I know
Darius number
it's the same
2?
thing like with Kittle and Kelsey. Yeah, he was. I mean, he had sacks. Yeah, he was a second Pro Bowler behind Wagner. But I mean, both of those two had a better year than Wagner. Wagner made it off just his name, to be honest. Wagner was like above. Like I would say he was above average this year, but he wasn't top 3 in all pro voting. I promise you he wasn't. I would have taken Roquan over him, but by far like the best coverage corner was Fred, and then the best like run stopping and mixture of decent coverage was Darius Leonard. So and that's why they both made the all pro with Wagner this year. But those two, they're gonna it's Kittle and Kelsey all over again. They're gonna watch each other's contract, and then they're gonna go off of whatever the other one gets. So no Rumble, but listen. Let's just nip this in the bud right now. Listen, I want Watson just as anybody else who wants Watson, but I'm not giving up Nick Bosa. I've already told you this. Pass rush is the second best position. We have an elite pass rusher. He's top 5. Yes, Nick Bosa is top 5, just like Deshaun Watson is top 5. Due to Nick Bosa being on a rookie contract makes him more valuable than a guy that's going to be asking for $40 million. That's not going to be asking for $40 million. He's actually going to be paid $40 million because the contract's already done. He just needs to get his money. So no, I don't think trading Bosa will. And even if and my thing is even if people are like, oh well, we need a quarterback now, but by the time we actually have to fork out cash for Bosa, the Jimmy G situation, either Jimmy G will be extended and be pushed down the line, and his money will come down further down the line, or we're going to be on a rookie contract with a quarterback. Like, that's just how it's going to go down. Like, there's no in between, guys. Either we're going to move on with a rookie and build a better team around him, or we're going to keep Jimmy, make Jimmy take less money, but then we'll have Jimmy for a longer term, because what they're going to do is make Jimmy a sign extension now. Then you backload the contract. You backload that contract so far down the line on his final 3 years of that contract. That's when he's really going to get paid. And that way, but then again, the salary cap will already be going up by 3 to 4 years. So,
yeah,
I mean, like I said, it's all perspective. I mean,
and Nick's got a 5th-year option.
Yeah, you could always just look at, there's always things to look at, because the cap will always be, like you said, Ronbo, you keep saying it, the cap has to go up to keep it competitive. Absolutely, because players are getting paid more. So to keep that in the same ranks as QBs are getting paid more, edge rushers getting paid more, they have to keep it competitive, and it'll always go up. And especially with the new TV deal that they just signed too, it's definitely gonna go up in like 2022. But listen, now we got that out the way. Listen, for all the Jimmy G fanboys, which is cool. Listen, if you want Jimmy G back, that's fine.
Oh my God!
If he goes and wins the Super Bowl, I don't care. I will be cheering right next to you in the parade. But all I'm saying is this: Jimmy G is not what Jimmy G was in 2017. Jimmy G was not what Jimmy G was in 2018 when he got hurt, because remember, he left the pocket to get hurt. 2019, he's not as, as fluid as he was. Now, I don't know, like you said, Rombo, Kyle could have probably said that, like, hey man, you already got hurt running out the pocket. Why the hell are you gonna keep trying to get hurt? Just stay in the pocket, go down, take the sack, or throw the ball away. If that's the case, Rombo, how is Jimmy G and everybody who's saying, hey, bring back Jimmy G, we need an O-line, how the hell are we going to let go of the best offensive lineman that we have? If you guys want to keep Jimmy G upright and are complaining that it is the offensive line that's letting him get hit a lot, how are we going to give up the most important person and the best person on that offensive line? It was nobody else but Trent Williams carrying that offensive line last year. By far, Ronbo. It's not even close. So how are we even going to fathom the idea that we're willing to let him walk to anybody else? That just can't happen. He's the left tackle, the most important position on that line. He's the blind side. And he is not only the most important, but he's the best player by far on that line, Rombo. Can we agree?
You got me sold. But what's your point, though?
We need – I'm sorry.
We got to keep him.
Oh, my point is we need to resign him. You need to resign him to keep Jimmy upright. How are we going to talk about putting a better O-line in front of Jimmy to help Jimmy out, and we're talking about, oh, well, we'll just draft somebody. Now, yeah, if we want to draft somebody, if it ain't nobody than Panay Sewell out of Oregon, I don't want anybody, because no one's going to compare to Trent Williams right now if we're trying to make a Super Bowl push. The man is a seasoned veteran. You have to pay him that back. And Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch knew that when they traded for him, because they waived they waived the franchise tag off him when they traded for him. So we knew this was gonna happen. We knew this was gonna happen, and we knew he was gonna get his money.
And Shay, I think since they did know it, and Lynch seems awfully cool and calm these days, I think they got this under control. I
promise you, I think they do, and I really do, Ronbo. And I think if it comes down to it, Jimmy's like, hell yeah, man. If that means I'm protected and we're gonna keep Trent, then I will take less money on this cap. I will take less money. We could restructure the contract for a 3-year deal or something like that, and I'll get paid. I'll get back paid in 3 years. I don't care as long as I can keep my guy. And Williams is the best player we have on that O-line.
And Lynch is saying he's not concerned with Jimmy's contract. I don't know what he's talking about, and when he says anything above $175 million is gravy, I can't wait to see what is he talking about, because not only we're talking about Trent Williams. There's a couple other guys I don't want to see go either. So we're going to find out though.
Right. No, we are, Ronbo. And also too, like, don't forget, if we sign Trent, you can go ahead and backload his contract, but you can give him a huge signing bonus, so that turns into cash now, and then he can wait in 3 to 4 years. So, yeah, and he'll be happy with that, because at least he's going to get paid, and we have him for a 4-year contract. Plus, the cap's going to go up already by in 4 years. So you can look at it different perspectives. But I'm saying, everybody's saying, oh no, well, if he wants $20 million, just no, man, that's what you pay left tackle.
No, that's the
top
base.
3 left tackles are getting paid $20 million.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, he's getting paid 20. The guy in Packers, I heard he's getting 23 annually. So I don't know how many years that deal
23,
is.
But Laramie Tunsil, who's nowhere near Trent Williams, but he's getting paid 22. But the Texans, remember, the Texans gave up 2 first-round draft picks.
Okay,
the Texans gave up 2 first-round draft picks to acquire him. That's why, Ronbo, that's why they had to pay Laramie Tunsil, because they gave up 2 first-round draft picks.
I didn't know he was getting paid that much. He ain't nowhere near
Texas.
Trent
Yeah,
Williams.
that's how the Miami has both their picks in the next 2 years, because they gave it for Laramie Tunsil. That's why they had to pay him $22 million. But I'm just saying, Trent's around 21, 22.
No, he's going to get paid. I just hope they give him, like you're saying, a huge signing bonus. So he'll say, okay, fine.
Exactly.
All right, hey, Shay, let me see you Friday, fam. All right.
All right, Ronbo, take it easy. God bless, Ronbo, and shout out to my TNT brothers. And take it easy, Ronbo. You have a good one. See you Friday.
All right, looking forward. You too, Shay. Yeah, they got it. They can't. You no matter what, you cannot let. And Shay's absolutely right. You cannot let Trent cannot walk out the door, even if you have to lock the door. And just turn the lights out. He can't leave. Buenos Ultimate Report. Hey, he said, if injuries is reason to fire Jimmy G, what about Bosa, Kittle, Debo, Mostert? I know. This is another reason I can't wrap myself around that, too. Nobody knows who's going to get hurt. This is a violent game. He might not get hurt, but he might. And everybody may get hurt. We proved that last year. 9-7, 18. We got to get Stafford. Ew, ow. Stafford hasn't won anything. If you're going to go get somebody with some pedigree. What is Stafford? With Kyle and these weapons, that Super Bowl next year should only cost a first and maybe a third. Imagine the 2019 team with Stafford. No. Here's the thing. What people need to please understand, Stafford's got to come in and learn the offense. That's a year wasted. He ain't going to be no stud. Nobody is. I always go back to Matt Ryan. If Matt Ryan was no stud in his first year with Kyle, Stafford ain't going to be either. So they've got to go a year through that. You've got a team that's ready for the Super Bowl. You've got a quarterback that already knows the system. It makes no sense. But thanks for that contribution. Hey, Lee.
Yo, what's up, Ronbo?
Lee, I'm sorry. I'm not a Stafford fan. I mean, he looks good. He's had some great players. He's had Megatron and a bunch of other guys, and they went nowhere. So why do I need that? But anyway, Lee, I'm going on and on about I'm concerned about. But actually, what Shay just said makes sense, too. I don't think the 49ers are going to let Trent Williams go anywhere under any circumstances. But you're the guy to ask, though, Lee. Somebody just said something. Oh, Jamie just said something about a terrorizing left tackle that handled Chase Young with one hand. Do you know about this guy?
Yeah, I do, Ronbo. Yeah, and Shay's on the money, Ronbo. I think we both said it to you like a week ago. You re-signed Trent Williams, and
No
you know
matter
that
what.
too.
No, I do.
You don't have a struggling O-line to give away your best player on the O-line in the most important position, left tackle. Come on, people.
We get laughed
ain't
at
hard.
around the NFL. The 49ers had Trent Williams. They let him go. That would be comedy material.
Yeah, and then imagine if he went to a team like the Colts, Ronbo, then they take him and Buckner off us. You know what John Lynch said? I didn't know this. I heard someone else say it. I was just doing some study and stuff, and the guy said that John Lynch said that one of his hardest decisions was letting Defoe go. And then those guys, straight after they got him, Ronbo, 3 weeks in, they were saying that it was the best trade they'd made in the franchise history. So no, let's not give them Trent Williams and Buckner in back-to-back years.
Lynch is quoted saying that after having said that was the worst deal he'd ever.
No, he didn't say that. He said that
it's the hardest
that
deal.
was one thing. That was the hardest decision he had to make, being the GM so far of the 49ers, was trading Forrest Buckner away. And the Colts said that it was 3 weeks into doing that deal, doing that deal, and 3 weeks into playing that was the best deal they've done in their franchise history.
It is, because he had a great year. I mean, he was like out of control last year. Wait, how many sacks did he get?
As far as Buckner, I'm not sure, Ronbo. I didn't really follow them. I know they made the playoffs, and I watched a couple of games early on in the season, but I'm not sure his numbers that he finished with. I just know that early on he was doing really well over there, and they were saying that he really helped that defense because they needed someone on the defensive line. And one thing you won't get out of Kendall is you won't get a Buckner as good as Buckner as he was at rushing the passer and getting to the quarterback, putting on pressures. I think he'll help in the run game, but you've seen it this year. Like, he'll flash. He's got good size. He just needs to really keep getting better. Hopefully he can fill the void a bit. If he can be good against the run, and he can get pressures now and then and get a couple of sacks, maybe 5 or 6 sacks a season, then that'll fill the void,
He's pretty athletic, though. I think he's got potential. I mean, when I see him leaping across the line of scrimmage like it was airborne, I said, whoa, he can move that big body like that. Interesting.
Well, then he just has to get the technique in that to match up to his physical skills, because he's big and he's strong.
Well,
and that's the thing that everyone goes on about.
We'll see how it develops.
As far as the kid that someone said earlier, the Slater kid, if we don't get
the who?
The Slater guy that someone said earlier, I think you mentioned him when I first got on.
The offensive lineman. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's Mr. Versatile, so he can play inside or outside. He can play tackle or guard, Ronbo. And he could be a guy that we could get, because they might see him as a guard, or they might see him in a position where if they don't say Trent Williams, which I think would be a huge mistake, he can play either position. And
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they say he's Mr. Versatile. They say he can play all 5 positions on that.
Oh, he's valuable.
On the offensive line.
Okay, the guy Swole is probably going to be the first offensive lineman to go in the draft. Okay, he might fall to us if we want to get 12. If you want to use that for an offensive lineman. And Lee, it's not a sin to use, when you're that far down in the draft, it's not a sin to use it for an offensive lineman, is it?
It's not if there's a big need there. We do have a big need, but Saul's not going to fall, Ronbo. He's top 5 guaranteed.
No,
I'm talking about
this guy, what is it, Slater?
Slater?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's there. Like, honestly, I think there's going to be better talents available there, Ronbo, than him.
Even than him?
There's another one too. There's another tackle named Darisaw, and he's good for the zone scheme that we run. And he can pass block and run block. So he could be the pick.
Guaranteed the 49ers know about him. As soon as you said run scheme, you know the Niners already know about him. Okay.
Yeah. So I think if they go offensive line, Tennessee will go early. But if there's someone left, they're probably going to be looking. Say they do the offensive line, I think it'll be the Darisaw kid, or the one that the caller said earlier in Slater, just because they'll fit our system. But me personally, I think we lock up Trent Williams. Hopefully, I'd like to get an offensive lineman in the free agency, Ronbo. There's 2. There's Alex Mack and there's Lindsey. Lindsey graded. I think he graded top 5 in both run and pass this year for center.
What position?
Center.
Oh, center. Okay. All he has to do is Kyle's got to be able to interview him and see if he has a cerebral capacity to deal with, how Kyle's system is. He's got to be sharp.
Well, Ronbo, he's running LaFleur's system right now in the playoffs.
Whoa! He already knows. Yes. God. The pack would let him go. I got to watch this weekend and see what he looks like.
Yeah,
he's going to be a free agent, huh?
They should re-sign him.
Because Richburg is,
they're
probably going to sign him.
And Mac, and they both play center. And both of them would probably fit the scheme, because Mac's played in Kyle's scheme and he's playing in LaFleur's scheme. So, not much different, especially in the run game. So as far as that goes, Ronbo, I think we should look at those moves for the free agency. I'd rather go, like I said, best player available. If one of those corners fall like Surtain, I'd like to get him. I think he looks like a stud, and he fills a big need as well.
Man.
And then also, you can get a guard later too, Ronbo. Like Trey Smith from Tennessee will be there if you need that right guard. He'll probably be in the second or third rounds. There's so many talent this year.
Yeah,
you remember the other week or other day I talked to you about running back?
Yeah.
And you were saying, maybe there's a guy later because there was Najee Harris, Etienne, and Trevor Hubbard. I think the top three.
Yeah.
But there's a real good kid out of Mississippi State. I don't like the kid I said out of North Carolina. I watched more film on him. Nah, he's too slow.
No, can't be slow. Not with the guys we got.
Nah.
Lee, always good stuff. Let me see if Friday, Lee, because I'm sure I'm going to have another question for you. I'm going to have a question for you every time you call in. Lee knows his college guys, man.
Everything. And shout out to everyone else that called in and in the chat. Thanks, Ronbo.
Thanks, Lee.
Good night.
Talk to you later. And 917, thanks for that contribution. He says, name me one thing. Hey, I love this one. Name me one thing Jimmy does better than Stafford. He knows Kyle's offense. That's all I'm interested in. Stafford, if he's supposed to be all that in a bag of chips, and Stafford got wiped out, if you're going to use the injury thing, Stafford got wiped out the last couple of games over in Detroit. That is more of a lateral move. If I'm going to go for a quarterback and run Jimmy out after all the time Kyle spent with him and built him up to who he is, it better be worth it. All right, just bring Stafford in so we can retrain him to. I think Jimmy's a lot better than he's getting credit for one thing. For most people who don't like Jimmy, they think he just absolutely sucks. I was like, no, that's not true. The exaggerations are going in that direction because of the need or the feeling that they just want to replace him. Not necessarily a better player, but just another player. Stafford is not. If Jimmy had as much time in the league as Stafford, I guarantee you, we might not even be having that conversation. Hey, Jerry.
Hey, forget about it. Have a shout out to my man, Niner Mike.
You scared me so bad. I thought Niner Mike changed his name. He's coming back to get me again. Oh God, Mike, I'm scared of you, man.
Shout out to my Niner brother, man. Shout out to my Niner brother. You know, he has some points there.
He always does.
We can't trade out the whole team for one quarterback. I really think Deshaun Watson is a great quarterback.
Well, he
you know
is.
What I'm saying? Houston is a terrible franchise. They
and
not
that's
like
true
the
too.
Niners. And we had a better coach. We got better weapons. I think Deshaun Watson will flourish in this offense. But besides the point, we can't sell the farm to get a busted up Buick, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying he's a Buick. I'm just saying we cannot, you know what I mean? Like you can't get rid of all your great players to get one. That don't make sense. Okay, so
because you got to fill those voids, and the quarterback can't fill all them voids.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got the cake, but we don't have the icing, and that's basically what it is. You know what I'm saying? We got to put the icing on there to win the Super Bowl. We got the squad. We were just injured. You know what I'm saying? So people is panicking and want to sell their stock and all that. We don't have to sell our stock. We just need to build in our draft, get quality veteran players who ain't about all this money. We can, start getting quality players to add to our pieces, to our cake. You
And
know what
have
I
the
mean?
miracle of Jimmy G not getting hurt and go another full season with Shannon.
Right.
And anybody that doesn't believe Jimmy's not going to evolve, well, they got a surprise coming.
Jimmy's
He's
a good
got to stay
quarterback.
upright.
You know what I'm saying? You can't lead a team to the Super Bowl and not be a good quarterback. He just the ball ain't bounced his way. You know what I'm saying? He got injured, and then he got injured again.
The reasoning is they just say Jimmy had nothing to do with it. All he did was hand off the ball. They played great defense. And Kyle
he
Shanahan.
made some he made some plays. You can't.
Plenty.
This is what people got to understand. You ain't in the NFL for no. You ain't in the NFL for no reason. He's in the NFL because he's a good quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is one's are better than the other, but at the end of the day, Jimmy made plays where we could get to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Even in the regular season, even if he didn't make no plays in the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
he made plays after plays in the regular season to get us to the playoffs.
And you
know
cannot
what I'm
just
saying?
call
So-
that nothing, or else you don't even get to the playoffs. By the way,
Right,
the
you
team
can't-
was
you-
the
you-
best in the league on third down conversion, and you didn't run for the first down every time. That's what I'm saying. You know,
Right. You're right. And,
It was
and
all
at the end
yak.
of the day,
Oh.
you know,
he had to still get
at
to the
the end
yak,
of the
man.
day, yeah, you gotta have a, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have a line, and that's the only way I can see. Regardless of who you got back there, you gotta have a line. I've been speaking this over. You know what I'm saying? I would love to have Trent Taylor there, but if we didn't have the salary cap to keep him here, then you got to dress it in the draft.
Trent Taylor,
Point blank, period.
Trent's in trouble. I don't see him coming back.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He's older. Not only he's a great offensive lineman. Don't get me wrong.
Oh no, you said Trent Taylor.
great
No,
left
Trent
tackle.
Williams. You said Trent Taylor.
Trent Williams.
Trent Williams.
I meant to say Trent Williams.
Just
Yes.
Taylor's.
I'm sorry.
Oh, he's definitely done.
Right. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, so we gotta have, you know, he's older, so he's gonna be wanting more money. So everybody
true.
knows that. Okay. Then we gotta look at our salary cap and see can we keep him in, even if we can, you know, somehow, you know, sign him to a 1-year deal. Maybe. That's if he wants to do that. And I doubt he wants to do that.
No, he's
At
not
the
going
end of
to
the
do
day,
that.
you know what I'm
He's got too many
saying?
options.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, and then what can you do? You can either get somebody in from the free agency market where you can get a little cheaper and then draft some tackles in the draft. You have to dress that offensive line. There's no way you do not dress that offensive line. That's the most important part right now. And then you dress the corner. You know what I'm saying? But right now, to protect your investment, you got to protect Jimmy or any quarterback you have there. You know, it don't matter if Jimmy ain't there. Any quarterback gets behind that line, they got to protect him. That's your investment. That's what you got to do. That's just point blank. You know what I'm saying? You got to think like a GM. You can't just say, "Oh, we're gonna trade 10 first-round picks, trade Nick Bosa, trade George Kittle, who else? Oh, Debo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk for Deshaun Watson."
I
You
guarantee
know,
you,
just can't-
a lot of 49er
can't-
fans will come to that one and say, no, that's too much.
Right,
Okay.
right. But I'm just saying, these are people. Dude, I've seen it where they were saying they would trade 2 first-round picks, trade Nick Bosa, and trade Jimmy G. And it's like
Just send everybody to Texas. We'll keep a few guys here.
Right.
But we
Right.
got Deshaun. Come on, man.
Yeah, we
Deshaun is
got
good, but he ain't that kind of good. That's
Right.
that's
And then,
insane.
On top, and then on
Anyway.
top of that, you ain't got nobody on the defensive side to stop the other player on the other side of the ball. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be
We
in
got-
trouble because then it's gonna be a shootout. You know,
Yeah.
and that's what the problem
But-
with Houston was having when they wasn't able to stop nobody. Deshaun Watson had to have a shootout.
And
Every
that's
single
what I knew that, you know, because they was behind all the time and they had to pass the ball.
Right,
And we seen
right.
Jameis Winston do that the year before last, pass for more yards than Deshaun did. Wasn't Jameis around 5,000 yards? I mean, you know, that's what ends up happening when you come behind all day.
Too. He
Throwing
was
the
a
ball
turnover machine.
60 to 70 times. I mean, come on, man. I like Deshaun, though. He's not a bad ball player, but come on, man. Don't overrate him. 3 first-round
Right.
picks. Jay, we got to go, though. Let me see you
Thank
Friday.
Rombo. Yes, sir. You have a good one, Rombo.
You too,
have a
man.
good night, brother.
Night. And Matt Gaskill says, thanks, Matt, for the contribution. Kyle is holding Jimmy back. He won't let him roll out of the pocket. He makes him stay in the pocket. You've heard me crying about that. And with our sorry O-line, Jimmy has no chance. But you know, Matt, the thing is, this year, as I said, we've had offensive weapons. We don't use we didn't use motion out of the backfield very much. They didn't even, you know, in 2019, I'm talking, you know, now, though, and this is why I said, you know, Jimmy's got some weapons now that you can see that. Now you're going to see that quick release because Ayuk And Debo's always open when he's seemingly all the time. George knows where to go all the time, too. These guys need time together, not replacements. I don't want to see any of them go. That's why I'm hardcore. Leave it alone. Let it go. Then, and give it an adequate amount of time. Then, if after 2 to 3 seasons together, if they still suck, well, hell yeah, it's time to get rid of somebody. But right now, after one full season, and they went to the Super Bowl, get rid of everybody or anybody? No. That's a young group. Jimmy's 30 years old. That's young for a quarterback. I mean, the guys that are fighting this weekend, what are they, 40? Aaron Rodgers, 36, 37? That's not old. God. Matt, thanks for the contribution. Why am I still going to get arguments on Twitter? Where's Batman? Dude's coming at me with all kind of stains of just strange stuff. Johnny V.
Ronbo, my brother, man.
Wait, let me congratulate Brian Ford. Hey, you know, John, you must be seeing it all around you, too. Cleveland, I was rooting for them so hard last week, John. I couldn't believe they had that game had they started in the first quarter instead of the second half. Damn it. But anyway.
Oh, yeah, of course. I've been hearing it for a goddamn week, dude. It's stop, Ronbo. They bitch and cry just like they always have. I mean, goddamn it, you made your bed. What the hell do you want?
God.
You know?
But John, good to hear from you.
I to have him out, man. Good to hear from you too, brother.
I haven't heard from you in a while, but.
Oh, Ronbo, man.
Well, John.
Yeah, dude. You know, I've been laying low, Ronbo, because I mean, you know, this Zach Wilson shit started to drive me to my end. and then the next thing you know, man, we got 40 free agents. We're talking about 12 of them. Who are we going to keep?
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada. Jimmy sucks.
And John, don't forget the deal.
Watson
3 first-round picks and Nick Bosa, and we got Deshaun Watson.
Oh, Ronbo, all these things have been coming to a fault, man. And then you throw Deshaun Watson into the mix. I'm like, what the hell is going to happen next, man? This is crazy, Ronbo. Everything's gone. Everything that was important went to the back burner because we're focused on Deshaun Watson and giving up the farm and this, that, and the other thing, man. And, Ronbo, if the 49ers give up Nick Bosa and 3 first rounders, Ronbo, and a quarterback,
promise you it's
and
not
Jimmy.
Promise
what the hell? I mean, listen, the Jamal Adams thing made the Seahawks look suspect, but if the 49ers
and even more so now,
this would be a legendary screw up that would haunt this organization. You want to get a Super Bowl tomorrow with Deshaun Watson, but you're going to gamble the future. Like 4 or 5 years. The hell's the matter with you people?
And John, you know what nobody's thinking about? Okay, does anybody really think Kyle's going to rewrite his playbook for Deshaun? Because Deshaun is not like the quarterbacks that Kyle wants. Kyle wants a guy that orchestrates from the pocket, gets rid of the ball quickly, and utilizes the run game. Because people think, we run the ball because Kyle doesn't trust Jimmy. Look, Kyle's been running the ball, and his daddy's been running the ball since the mid-'80s. That's not the reason why they run the ball. They designed that stretch run. I don't understand where people get that from. You can hate Jimmy, but bring me some legitimate facts. Don't just throw stuff out there because you hate Jimmy G. The Shanahan's been running the ball forever. That's why they go out and get cheap running backs, because they're good at it. They can make anybody a running back, and it'll be damn good, except for Carlos Hyde.
Yeah.
You need to have speed, though.
I mean, listen. At the end of the day, Deshaun Watson's a great quarterback. You can't take that away from him.
For the right system. Yeah.
But he just, when the pocket starts to fall apart in the slightest, these mobile quarterbacks like Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, Ronbo, the slightest crack in the line, man, and they're out. They're gone. I mean, they're off. And that can work, but it doesn't work in San Francisco. I mean, you might be able to roll out and make it work, but I mean, at the end of the day, the league's done a pretty good job of containing mobile quarterbacks this year.
It's getting worse, too. Except for Lamar Jackson.
Right. But at the end of the day, I mean, we can't give up the farm, Ronbo, for one quarterback. You're going to give up Nick Bosa, who is. I mean, we
John,
were so goddamn lucky to land him in the first place.
I could say
You're
with
gonna
no
give him up?
concern that is not going to happen, okay? That is so far. The 49ers like Nick to begin with. And John, as Lynch already told everybody last year about his draft picks now that we don't have any money. So this is why I know all of this is science fiction.
Yeah, I mean, it just every day, Ronbo, with the speculation and the narrative, they get heavier and heavier, and they sound crazier to the point where, like, we look silly talking this shit. We look silly, like,
John.
you know. Now they're talking about Fred Warner.
Oh, no, I've not heard that
one
one yet.
Talking about all-pro Fred Warner, that linebackers are not as like, you can get a good linebacker,
valuable.
You can develop a good linebacker, but like Fred Warner, come on, man. I mean, I don't even want to hear this shit. Every time I hear these picks, Ronbo, and guys like Kittle, Warner, Bosa, I mean,
and then people say you do whatever it takes to get Deshaun Watson. Oh no, you don't. You know,
then what?
You know what I'm waiting for, John?
He falls on its face. Then what?
Well, that's the thing. He's not gonna, first year. He's going to struggle. He's going to have to learn the system, and I don't think Kyle's going to rewrite the system for him. So he's going to. I can see. Can you see Deshaun Watson standing in the quarterback, standing in the pocket, and looking for his receivers?
No. He's going to look like Mitch Trubisky.
You know, and here's another thing.
Mitch Trubisky.
We've seen the outrageous deals.
Stand still.
Well, Mitch, yeah, he can't either. But here's the look for this, John.
He can't either.
What if we include Kyle Shanahan in the deal for Deshaun?
Okay.
Okay, see, that's what I'll block. Anybody who does that, don't even play. I will block you. That means you've lost your mind. Don't come to Twitter and bother me with that.
It's gonna get, you know, and once they try this narrative, like with Nicky Bosa, they're dingling him out there with two first-round picks, and give Jimmy Garoppolo to Houston, and this, that, and the other, and a bag of nuts. Get the hell out of here, Ronbo. I can't do this, man. I start to pull my hair out, man. You know, it's starting to get ridiculous. Let's just take a second, because Ronbo, listen, too much change is not good. At least I don't like too much.
You can't develop
I don't know
continuity
about
like
you, brother,
that.
but I don't like too much change.
I don't.
You know,
either.
we got all these missing pieces here, there, and the other with coaching, and we got McDaniels, we got D'Amico Ryan. We moved all these parts.
But in-house, John. That's what I like with that.
Oh yeah,
Keep it in-house.
Within house. I love it.
Yeah.
I do. I love it. But I don't want to shock the Niners with too much change and a quarterback. And we gave up picks and this, that, and the other in a bag of nuts. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
John,
we
got to go. And like I said, exactly what you're saying. This is why I didn't want a new defensive coordinator. I said, no, don't come in and teach the guys new things. They're really good at this. Let's stick with that. They hired D'Amico. They're on the same page as we are. John, you and I, we think with a level head. Somebody's going to come at me. I just know it. Well, that's how you get just
getting roasted.
You know, getting insane with the stuff to do. You can't just do these. This is not Madden. Oh, all right.
No, and we don't want to embarrass ourselves. Why do we need to go down like that?
Right.
Why the hell would we go down like that? Giving up Bosa and 2 first-round picks. I mean, come on, God damn it. We're not that big of a joke.
Not to worry, John. It's not going to happen. John, John, now that you're back to feeling like you can deal with insanity, I'll see you Friday.
Ronbo, my brother, I love you, man. Love everything you do for us.
Love you back, fam.
Thank you so much, my friend.
Thanks,
Take care
John.
of yourself, Ronbo. Appreciate it.
You too, fam.
Good night.
Stay out of COVID's way. I'll talk to you Friday.
You got it. You got it, my man. Thanks. Bye.
All right. And Clarence Molina says, Kyle has got to make the right decision on the QB. To get us over the hump, he's got to find his Rodgers-type part 1 or 2. Hey, Clarence, I got to tell you guys, though, you're going to love what happens next year. If we can start the season out normal, you guys are going to be in for a shock. Clarence also goes on to say whether it's upgrading Jimmy G with Skangs hire. Scangarello. or giving up some play calling duty or drafting the future quarterback, part 2 of 2. Clarence, thanks for those contributions. Yeah. As I always say, like I said about J-Dub, I said about so many things, including let's get hopefully Nick Bosa's the guy in the draft. Boy, there's all kind of pushback in that. Robert Saleh sucks. I said, you better wait a minute. I'm telling you, this I feel stronger about than any of the rest. Wait a minute. Let this gal a minute longer. I guarantee you're going to be happy with it. Ellis! Ellis.
Ronbo.
Is that Ellis?
Ronbo.
Ellis, there you are. Ellis, you was out jogging. You walking the dog now. Ellis, I can tell you're a multi-dimensional dad, and I bet you was out walking the dog, and your phone fell on the ground. You had to pick it up because it turned off. Dog was licking you and kicking you and carrying on, biting you, trying to give me the phone. Everybody's got that kind of dog. They get crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the kids. Yeah, the kids want a dog, man. We just got in from BJ's. We just went to get a bite to eat. So I was just literally walking into the house. Yeah, just got in.
All right.
Yes, sir. What's going on, family?
Well, tonight we're talking about the PFF deal offering for Trent Williams. It's 4 years, $80 million. Give him a signing bonus around 600 something mil, and from there, $20 million a year. You cannot let Trent Williams go. We were talking earlier. People will be laughing at the 49ers if you allow the league's best left tackle get away. So I'm just hoping that because I didn't realize how many other left tackles. There's a couple more guys. Do you know even Tunsil is getting paid $22 million? The 49ers are hoping $20 million will do it and a large signing bonus. I hope they're right.
Yeah.
Now, can you get behind that deal?
I guess. I mean, 20 I guess, is feasible. It's better than 23. It's better than 22. It's better than, hell, any more than that. I just wish that we had another year or more of some kind of proof that Trent is going to, he's just going to be the long-term guy for us. You know what I mean? Because it's just like us. It's like when we dumped all that money on Jared McKinnon. We gave him all that money, and then he got hurt. Then he came back, and then he got hurt again. And the same thing we did with D Ford. I just don't want us to have another crash course with the same thing that seems to have been paying us. It's paying these guys, these injury-prone guys, or these guys that don't end up, pulling through. And I mean, Trent Scott doesn't have a bad, really, what I see, doesn't really have a bad injury history. I knew he had the issue with the mass and stuff on his head, but that was, I think that was a little bit different.
Yeah.
He's able to overcome that, but he's been playing really good, man. So
his
I
numbers,
don't know, man.
His numbers are crazy. He did a really good job. He was PFF. He had 91.5 as far as run blocking, and he's better even. And he's just as good at pass block. 85.6. Trent, after week 5, did not allow nobody to touch the quarterback. He struggled early on, first couple of weeks. 3 weeks, but he'd been out for a year, so that's understandable. But after that, he's straight money. So now he comes back next year, he's going to be hardcore.
Yeah. And, I guess the only thing that I was thinking about was him kind of being like a diva about it. I've seen some different teams might have some interest in him and some people that might want to throw some money at him. The Raiders, they're desperate. They'll throw some money at anybody that's a Niner. You know what I mean? They're trying to get any players. They'll take anybody we got. You know what I mean? Them and the Seahawks. They love the sloppy seconds of the Niners organization. But I'm just I'm concerned though. Just thinking long term is what are we going to do? I'm a little irritated. I've been hearing about Nick Bosa getting traded for Deshaun Watson.
That's fan driven.
I will say that.
None of that coming out of Santa Clara. Guarantee you.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in a lot of these so-called damn Niner fans. Nick just got here, man. We hadn't even had a chance to even see him really do his thing. We had one season of him. You know what I mean? who could detach themselves so quickly from a player and then get attached to a player like Deshaun Watson, in the blink of an eye. Like, that's just crazy.
That just shows you how deep the hate for Jimmy is. They would do anything to get Deshaun Watson in there as long as they get rid of Jimmy. So if it means getting rid of Nick, hell yeah, throw Nick in. Somebody, John just pointed out, somebody mentioned Fred's name. What? No, Fred ain't going to no Texas for no Deshaun. Oh.
No, sorry, Bob.
Yeah,
that's not going down, man. So I just wouldn't do all of that. I would honestly, rather wait out another year and see what we can get. See what we can get out of Jimmy, see what we can get, in the draft and build this team up. Come give them, see us when we are healthy. You know what I mean? When we have all our guys together, then we have a different conversation. Then it's a different, set of circumstances for the entire league.
Last year's team was better with all the additions we made. Do you know who'd be in the NFC final this year? Oh, hell yeah, it would have been the 49ers. And they would have had one more year of experience, one more year of reps. We got a better wide receiver group this year. Even though Ayuk is a rookie, he was still pretty tough. Debo and George, oh, come on, man. The defense was crazy good last year. You know how good they was going to be this year. Even if Devon Kimball was on it. That was going to still be straight money. And Robert Saleh had him playing good anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about the Jets and us being in Miami being like the top 3 landing spots. Could you imagine Saleh though getting Deshaun Watson coming into the into the team like that? Man, that would be something.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens though. Because he's still got to get it coached up, get the system right. You got to get the team, to be able to put it on film. So, which I know he'll be able to do. But that would be crazy if the Jets ended up getting him, because it's such a high market. He wants to be flashy.
The Jets is a great place. But New York's a tough place to play, and you ain't winning. Because Sam Darnold probably can't wait to get out of there. Whew,
what do you think? What do you think about Stafford? What do you think about Stafford? What if we threw Detroit like a first rounder and a third rounder? You know what I'm saying? And get Matt Stafford.
I like Stafford.
I don't know.
But my thing is, I'm like John. I was just
if we talked about Wentz and everybody else, I would give Stafford any day over all them, unless it was maybe like a Tom Brady or like an Aaron Rodgers. Those would be like the only 2 exceptions.
Rodgers would work real quick, because the thing is, you can plug and play Rodgers. He's been with what's his name? What's the coach's name? Anyway, he knows Kyle's system. I don't know why people think that whomever you bring in is going to be
LaFleur.
Yeah, LaFleur. No, you're not going to get a quarterback to come in and doesn't know anything about Kyle. Did you see what happened to Rodgers last year? He didn't like that system in the beginning. Him and LaFleur were going back and forth, but Rodgers did finally get it down enough. And now Valdez Scantling and another guy he's got, Lazard. Oh man, those boys grew up. Now see, that's what I'm saying. Give Jimmy a chance to get together with some top grade receivers. Debo and Ayuk are it. I just know it. Let them grow together, and you will see an overnight change from what you're seeing. Because like I said, last year, after Emmanuel Mosley showed up, it was no coincidence that Jimmy G's game suddenly elevated to the next level. He needs weapons. He needed them last year. He had one, and he had Debo who excelled really quickly. But that was it. Kendrick Bourne was 80% of the time Kendrick was there for you. But that's it. And then we had our run game. That's what I'm saying. Now.
And there was a lot of time where KD was open where he never got the ball, too.
Who?
Yeah, there was a lot of I was going to say, there was a lot of times, man, where KB and guys are getting wide open, when we think about the possessions they may be not getting. A lot of those times we got to factor in when our QBs are not actually even looking at them and didn't see them, and they're wide open.
But you can also say
plenty of real estate.
But you can also say how many times they dropped the ball too. Jimmy would have been well over 4,000 yards had they not made drops. So sometimes when he did make a read and he missed the wrong read or got the wrong read, this is why I'm saying it takes time in that system to get it down, Pat. 1 year is not enough. Matty Ice took 2 years. Jimmy needs 2. I want to see him one more time. Ellis, we're out of time. I'm getting all kind of grief over here. We're having too much fun.
Yeah. We're We got Mayhew out of there, so we got another damn pick. I mean, we're getting rich. We're getting rich in the draft this year. So I just pray that we can make the best moves with these things. With these picks that we got, that we're picking up. At least they're third rounds. You know what I mean? Between Mayhew and Coach Saleh. So
it's going to be all right.
We'll be able to do some things.
We'll work it out. We just got to get to there and be healthy. That's number one. All right, fam. Let me see.
Yeah, we back Friday, Saturday?
Yeah, Friday.
Okay, family.
All
right. I appreciate you, Brother Ronbo, as always. Thank you for the platform. Peace and love. Make sure y'all hit that. Yeah, make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe. And we'll see y'all on Friday, man. Shout out to the Niner Faithful.
Looking forward, Ellis. All right. Night.
All right, man. Peace.
Hey. Paul III, it says Tunsil's only 24, though. Trent is turning 33. And, that has the figure, too. But I wonder, how much weight does that carry, though? It's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Alex!
Yeah, what up, Ronbo?
Alex, man, I was sitting there worrying about Trent Williams. He can't leave. Or else we're left tackle. If it's funny, because if McGlinchey were leaving, we would all say, uh-oh, but we wouldn't say, oh, no, like we're saying about the left side. It's serious on the left side. And, but, you've heard, if you haven't heard about the deal, PFF is offering, and I hope that's similar to what he'll accept. But you got 4 years at $80 million and a $62.5 million total guarantee and a $45 million fully guaranteed at the signing. Wouldn't that be appealing? I mean, you don't want to have to go to a team and start up. There's going to be endorsements, and let's put some bonuses in there for him and let him get paid more than Tunsil and also Bakhtari over in Green Bay. Maybe he'll be happy with that. Scary.
But I mean, that's just what the market is right now for him,
I know.
So it's either do you want to continue with that dude and, because I think he had an okay year. I feel like some people are blowing it a little bit out of proportion for how he played this year. I saw him not really blocking too well, but, if Shanahan and Kyle think that, Shanahan and Lynch can think that they can get a cheaper, horizontal move, then I'm all for it, because I know this dude Villanova from Pittsburgh is a free agent, but who knows? I'm not too concerned about that. I'm more concerned about quarterback Ronbo.
I know.
And
everybody is.
Let me, because I hear you a lot, Ronbo. I like listening to you, man. And I hear you saying that your biggest gripe with bringing in the new quarterback is that the quarterback can't learn the system.
No, I didn't say can't. I didn't say
learn
can't. I got to make that clear to everybody. I didn't say can't learn. I'm just saying he can't learn fast enough for me. Jimmy's already too far ahead of him.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I hear you. I hear you, Ronbo. Sorry, I didn't mean to get that misconstrued. That's totally what I meant to say. My bad. But how can you say that when this dude Jimmy, when we traded for him, came in 2-3 weeks after we traded for him and rattled off 5 wins in a row? How can a quarterback with more potential not come in and play?
Remember though, Alex.
better?
Remember though, just on that part, just to clear that up, those are rehearsed plays. That's all they were doing the whole time Jimmy was there. Rehearsed plays.
Oh,
Now, I don't know how long you can run rehearsed plays.
Jimmy was making plays outside the pocket a lot.
He was going off
touchdown was outside
schedule.
the pocket.
And so Kyle was commending him on that. He was going off schedule. They had rehearsed plays, and Jimmy was going off schedule. He didn't even know the names of the guys on the team. He was saying, you.
Right, that's what I'm saying, Ronbo. Well, so how come a quarterback like Deshaun Watson can't come in and learn the system with the full offseason, full OTAs, full camp, full preseason?
You can't run rehearsed plays the whole season. The defense will figure it out. He's got to come in and he's got to learn. If you're going to come in at the beginning of the season, if you come in mid-season, Kyle will probably do the same for Deshaun. But if you're going to come in at the beginning of the season, Kyle's going to want you to learn the offense. Why? Because the rest of the team knows the offense. You know what I mean? So there's a difference by that approach. Because the team at that time, nobody was good at the offense that year. Everybody was learning. So it's okay to run rehearsed plays. I remember just
No, I'm not saying we can't. I'm not saying we can't. But I'm just saying, like, how can a guy come in, rattle off 5 wins, and he ran plays that were there, but he also made moves outside the pocket? Like, that's what happens when you're learning, And Deshaun Watson's a smart dude. He led the league in passing with nobody around him. when you have a head coach and you have a quarterback like Andy Reid and like Patrick Mahomes, and I hate saying that because I hate the effing Chiefs, but like, and even look at that's the formula. Look at the Bills. Yeah, they got a superstar in Stephon Diggs, but we got Kittle, we got Ayuk, we got Debo, we got dudes around here. Let's go get a quarterback. What did the defensive coordinator from Remember the Titans say? Leave no doubt. Let's go get this dude and let's just like dominate the league with Kyle Shanahan, Deshaun Watson, and not have to worry about nothing.
See, but you're sucking in the hype, Alex, like everybody else is. Deshaun Watson, the reason he had all those yards is because the Texans were losing week after week. He won 4 games last year.
Rombo, he had the highest completion percentage. Top three.
Yeah, because they were behind all the time, and Sean was out there passing
He had no
the ball.
O-line. He had Brandon Cooks as the number one.
He's running around playing Russell Wilson-style football. Shannon doesn't want that. That's not Shannon football. That's why we lost so many games.
But his mobility allows him to be flexible because he can learn the system, and if he doesn't learn to play, he can walk in the pocket and make a play outside the pocket. But as time goes on, he'll stand in the pocket more because he knows the plays. The potential is just it's exponential, Ronbo. And we can dominate for 15 years and not have to worry about nothing. 2-3 first-round picks should be in the rearview mirror a long time ago. But hey, I haven't talked in a while, and I just want to put that out there.
People really want Watson. They'll give up anything. I don't see Lynch and Shanahan giving up all kinds of assets for Deshaun, especially when they're not desperate for a quarterback as much as the fans are. This is why I'm saying they've put too much time and effort in Jimmy. They know what he's capable of, or else they would have got rid of him last year. This is what I'm saying. People need to give that kid a couple of seasons. Why jump to something? Because he's had 2 at the most. If you add up all the ones from 2018, how many games?
You could even argue that Jimmy was learning the offense in 2019.
No,
Imagine Deshaun Watson.
No, 20. Well, he was with his dad. He was with the dad all season long, so he had an idea.
Well, Deshaun Watson would be if we traded him for.
He's going to stay with Kyle's dad the whole time. I got to tell you,
I don't know. I don't see it with Jimmy Ronbo. I just don't. He's getting older.
The locker room likes Jimmy. He's a leader amongst the guys in the locker room.
Yeah,
they
but
like
Deshaun's
him.
the dude. He's the man. Look what he did for his homies. Look what he did for his agent. It's a business, Ronbo. Like, I understand the whole locker room thing, and we have a great locker room.
Locker room leadership means a lot. And also, I think Jimmy's getting way more hate than he deserves. Jimmy had some great games last. No, but Deshaun Watson.
I'm not hating on Jimmy.
I'm just saying Watson's good, but he's not necessarily a replacement that Jimmy G can't be.
He led the league in passing with nobody in an interim coach, though, Ronbo. This guy, we would not have to worry about Patrick Mahomes or nobody. We would have our own. You need an elite quarterback to go toe-to-toe with these guys. You have to. That's the way the game's going.
I get it.
You have an elite defense.
But do you think is Kyle going to rewrite his playbook for Deshaun Watson? Do you really think he's going to do that?
Jimmy's limiting Kyle. Kyle.
No. We're a run
for sure,
team.
Ronbo.
No, that's not.
8 passes against the Packers.
When you look at the years that the Shanahan's been running their system, it's always been a run system. They don't want to throw the ball all the time.
Matt Ryan passed the ball hella, Ronbo. They were throwing like 50 times a game. They had Julio, and that's it. We have Kittle, Ayuk, and Debo.
Look at the receiver, right? That's what I'm trying to tell everybody. Look at the receiving core Jimmy's got now. What's the running back in Atlanta? What's his name? Devontae.
Exactly. Look at his receivers. Why doesn't he do anything? He gets hurt all the time anyway.
Let me just finish telling you this.
Let me just finish telling you
this one thing. Devontae Freeman led the league that year in rushing. You know why? Shanahan's system calls for the zone stretch. It sets up the pass game. You're not going to get Deshaun's not going to be out there throwing the ball nearly as much as he is in Texas. Not even half as much.
That's good. Keep him healthy. At least he can probably stay healthy. Doesn't do Jimmy.
All that running around you're talking about throwing the ball, that ain't what Sean wants him to do. That's why I didn't get him in 2017.
Watson knows how to take hits. He's tougher than I'm not going to say he's tougher than Jimmy, but he's built differently than Jimmy. He's more.
He could have got him in 2017.
He can take the hits, though.
Somebody brought up the good point. He could have got him in 2017, and now he's going to go 2 or 3
we're going to have to trade a lot.
We're going to have to what?
Regardless, we're going to have to trade a lot because a lot of other teams have a lot more leverage than we do with, like, trade pieces. We're a little bit lower in the draft.
Yeah.
So, like, I want Watson, but I really do think that we have to trade a lot, like 2 firsts and Warner. And, I mean,
that Warner thing is serious, huh?
I'm not saying I do it, but I think I chew on it because quarterback, My two untouchables are Kittle and Bosa. Those
Listen,
are my
Alex,
two untouchables. I'm sorry.
like I make a point every
Middle
year.
linebacker is not as effective as a quarterback. and when
Every
it's all
year.
said and done. When it's
Alex,
all said and
every
done,
year.
I'm sorry.
Every year,
There
I
are
always
linebackers
say,
all over the league, Rombo.
get rid of Warner. I get it. Get rid of Warner. But I'm saying every year.
I'm not saying that. I'm just
I
saying
make a
chew on it.
prediction.
I'm just saying chew on it.
I'm
It's a
telling you,
business,
every year
okay?
I
It's
tell
all
people
about the
about
Lombardi.
J-Dub and everybody else. I say, you know what? You need to wait. I've been right every time. I'm sticking with my instinct on Jimmy G.
We don't need an all-pro middle linebacker to win the Super Bowl. We need an elite quarterback to win the Super Bowl.
He needs another year. If Jimmy gets another
We'll
year,
see.
I think this chatter will stop. We gotta go, Alex.
I'm gonna hop off. It's been a while. Hey, it's always all love, Rombo. It's always all love.
I agree. I'll see you Friday if you get a chance.
Cool.
All right.
All right, man. Much love, bro.
Back at you, fam.
All right, peace.
All right. And Fulton report says this girl is wrong with everything he's saying. So, Alex, a lot of people really believe that Deshaun Watson could take us to the promised land. But I got a gut feeling about Jimmy G. I think all he needs a little time. I seen enough when he first came to know that kid could quarterback. I don't care what anybody says. Jamel!
Hey, Ronbo, how you doing, man?
Jamel, man, I'm sitting here. I every show I try to start off with, other than the subject matter of Deshaun Watson. I'll be so glad when this period is over and Deshaun Watson tells the Texans that he's going to stay in Texas, because that's what's going to end up happening. Jamel, Watson ain't leaving Texas. People got this.
No, he's not.
He's not leaving Texas. That's $150-something. Ain't nobody going to pick up that man and say, oh. But anyway.
Right.
I'm worried about Trent Williams. We can't lose him, Jamel. I just hope this deal the 49ers proposing is going to work.
You know what? They've got to work something now. And if we lose him, rest assured, I mean, we're going to be looking at free agent linemen and also the draft. I mean, we need some type of some linemen that got some dogs in them, like that, you know, Willie Rofe type of lineman and Tony Baselli, Ray Runyon. You remember those guys? Those guys didn't play. So, yeah, we need guys like those in the draft. And that's what I believe.
And even
I think
even that crazy boy that's over with Oakland Raiders right now. If I could find, if I could find, what is his name? He's not the kind of guy that I'd want to have a beer with after the game or anything like that. But when he plays on the offensive line, he seems to take it personally when somebody's trying to get at his quarterback. You know, he could be actually brought up on, somebody want to call the police on him after the game for a couple of things he did. They might be within their right. But that's the kind of guy I want, Jamel. What is that dude's name?
Exactly.
Fam, give me, who is that crazy man that Oakland
Yeah.
Raiders picked up that has some mental issues? I want an offensive lineman with a little bit of a mental issue.
Right.
But Trent Williams, hope he stays with us. Richie,
I hope so too, man.
Tommy Testosterone, the guy you love to hate, Richie Incognito is who I'm talking about. Yeah. You know,
I remember.
Incognito's a very
Incognito.
That's a sick puppy. Headbutting people? That's what I'm talking about.
He ain't take no stuff, man.
Woo! So, yeah.
Yeah, we need guys like those, man. We need guys like those that I don't take no mess factor. So
The thing about Richie,
like
though,
I said, guys
Richie,
like those.
Richie got a 15. Richie got 10, 15-yard penalties every game. But I want something along that line. But you need to be contain that rage. You know, the guy didn't kill your mom or steal your girlfriend. Don't, Richie. You can do it. Don't headbutt and let it. If you get a headbutt, make sure nobody sees you. Because if the guy's bleeding from the head and they look over at you and there's a stain on your helmet, they're gonna throw the flag on you. Richie, calm down. Jeez.
Right.
But yeah. But we'll keep.
That's what I think we're gonna be drafting linemen this in April. I see that coming. We need to make sure, man, we keep our quarterback as clean as possible. So
I think so. The 49ers are fully aware of this problem, so they're gonna address it, no matter what.
Yep. So we're fully stacked with everything else. So I mean, wide receivers, we got our running backs, our defense is good. Then we get our injury guys, we got all our injured guys back. So I think if and then we'll have a longer off season. Longer off season, heal up, condition everything, OTAs and all that stuff. And then next year will be our revenge tour, I believe.
Yeah. George Kittle had put it right perfectly. The 49ers were hurt like crazy last year. But Kittle said, I could say that we didn't have, the kind of training we needed at the beginning of the season to avoid that. But then I look at the Kansas City Chiefs, and they only lost like a couple of games all season. So I can't even use that as an excuse. But we're a different animal. I guess the 49ers do need to get on the field for a while before the season starts. Because I can't remember any time, and I'm watching football forever, I can't remember any time where the team lost that many starters in 1 year. Jamel, you remember any season like that? Man, that's just insane.
I've never. I mean, it always seems to happen with us. I forget what other teams, but yeah, man, that's just nuts. So
yeah, so I don't want to. I can't imagine that happening twice. We got to find a way to stay healthy next year, at least a little better than this. This is just obscene. So I'm predicting a good year. So yeah, we'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but be on the lookout. There's an alert out. There's people that are trading Fred Warner. Alex just got the phone in. And the thing is, I thought people were kidding. Alex sounded as serious as a heart attack. He's willing to give up Fred Warner because he feels like we can get linebackers anywhere. And a couple of first-round draft picks to get Deshaun Watson.
Ronbo, listen. This is what I was saying to do. Okay, you remember watching Lean on Me when Joe Clark was on the roof with Sam's. And you know what he told me? He said, "You smoke crack, don't you? Smoke crack, don't you? Look at me, boy. Don't you smoke crack?" Come on, y'all need to quit with all this fantasy stuff, man. Fred Warner is a gem, dude. Man, leave it alone.
Fred Warner could be one of the guys that goes down on the 49ers' famous linebacker ring of glory. I mean, Willis is already up there. Bowman's up there. There may be a couple others we should put in there. Fred may be one season away. We don't have to wait for his career to get to 5 or 6 years. Fred might be up there now. Fred Warner is a bad, bad man. I tell you. So, no, he is not going to Texas. That would be insane.
Oh, heck no, he ain't going nowhere. They're going to be right here with us. We're not Purdue. They're going to trade him away. No, that man is smart.
No, Fred's running that. He's running that defense. That's another thing. His cerebral capacity alone makes him irreplaceable. Jamel, we're out of town. Let me see you Friday if you get a chance, will you?
I'll be back Friday, bro.
Looking for you, Jamel. Have a great night. Glad to hear you're feeling good, too. All right. Night.
Oh, yeah. Yep. All right.
Paul Third says, 49 fans like to make fun of the Seattle running their roster into the ground, wasting picks on trades and being reliant on inconsistent stat padding, mobile quarterbacks. Ironic with all the Watson talk. Paul, thanks for that contribution. I know you every year we go through the latest fashion in trades. Jimmy G's, that's 2 years in a row Jimmy's been the guy that everybody wants to get rid of. When in fact, Jimmy came out of a Super Bowl. This is why I call it hate. He missed a deep field throw. If we looked at Rodgers, Brady, anybody in the NFL, Russell Wilson too, if you look at any of the best quarterbacks in the league, they make a percentage of those deep downfield throws. They don't make them all. So by Jimmy missing that throw and decided to define him by that throw, that's all he is. He had every opportunity. The table was set for him and he blew it. That's who he is. That is not an intelligent assessment of a quarterback that got through the whole season being accused of not having anything to do with the offensive prowess and success. I always get a kick out. Jimmy didn't do nothing. All he did is hand off the ball. We played defense, and we had a run game. Jimmy just handed off the ball. Jimmy did not hand off the ball all the time, and you know it. This is why I don't want to listen to that argument. Hey, wait, I'm sorry. Emilio was on the phone. Emilio!
What's happening?
Emilio, man, I'm in here trying to talk about Trent Williams. People won't leave Jimmy alone. They know I'm gonna protect that boy. They know I'm gonna protect him. They're coming at me. You know what, though? This time next year, I'm going to have my time, though. I'm going to be doing like I did with J-Dub and everybody else. I told y'all. I can't wait till my moment. So I got to wait.
But you know what this reminds me of?
What?
The whole Gabbard and Kaepernick thing. It's the same exact thing. We want Kaepernick. That's it. Oh, my God.
We always have a quarterback controversy. This goes all the way back to Joe Montana and Steve Young.
Everybody wants Watson. Mm-hmm. I'm all for Watson, but not for what they want to give up or whatever they're speculating to give up. That's too much. That dude is not worth that much. He ain't even been to the Super Bowl yet. At least Jimmy won 2 as a backup. This guy hasn't even done that. Mm-hmm. Well, come on, man.
Jimmy's got 2 playoff wins. Watson's got 1. Jimmy's got 1 Super Bowl. Watson's got none.
You can get him fine, but he's not worth that much. No way in hell. If in that case, we should get that much for Jimmy. At least Jimmy got us to the Super Bowl and has 2 Super Bowl wins. I'm like, yo, what? Why would that even make sense? So you want a guy that, he has the talent, yes, but he hasn't even been near not even close to the Super Bowl or in the Super Bowl at that, not even on the bench.
And Jimmy ain't never had nobody as good as DeAndre Hopkins.
The last quarterback the Texans ever had good was David Carr, and that was it. They never ever had a good quarterback. Come on, man. I would not give Texans no leeway. And the only reason they want that much, because what's the name? Their old coach fucked that whole deal up from last year, giving up Hopkins for barely nothing. That's all they're trying to do.
I'm still mad about that. And send him to the NFC West. You dog. Oh, man.
And you be an idiot just like the Texans giving up all that just for one player. You're not even getting anything. Getting draft picks and come on, and then you want to give him 2 players and 3
and Fred.
He is not worth that. I'm sorry.
And Fred.
He's not worth it.
Oh God, that's what that's.
So that's you telling me you want to give him a big portion of our team. So you want to give us our starting quarterback, and you want to give one of the heart and soul players of the defense, and you want draft picks.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if, like I said, a lot of you guys watch football, but. I don't know. I don't think a lot of them have smart football. That's just dumb. Why would you give so much for a player that's not even really honestly really proven to this point? I mean, yeah, like I said, he's talented, he's good, but no, he's not worth it. Not mine. I know that damn well.
Not mine either. I like Deshaun. He's awesome. I don't need to give up the house.
Don't get me wrong. He's a good quarterback.
We'd have drafted him okay, but now I'm gonna go get him and give everything else. I give my future draft picks away. You never know who you're gonna get in the draft. You'll be giving that away. No, not that many. If they wanted 1, okay, we'll consider that. But no.
I'll put it to you like this: not even the Rams gave it that much to get Jared Goff. Come on, I mean, I know they got first round draft picks, but are you serious, dude? Come on, man. And at least Goff has been to the Super Bowl. What is this guy? No, I'm sorry.
No, Deshaun, that's the thing. Deshaun gets excuses from all his, people who watch Deshaun. They got 101 excuses. If I give 3 reasons why Jimmy Garoppolo's in the position he's in, Ronbo, man, what is with you? Just like Jimmy G because he's good looking or what? That dude's I'm not a woman. I don't like Jimmy G for those reasons. What are you talking about? I'm talking real football here.
You know what other thing I would see? Let's say we do get Watson. He would destroy that locker room because as much as he's gotten into it with his own players in Texas, he would do the same thing here. That guy's not really a team player. I've seen that too many times.
Watson gets into it.
You guys want to destroy that locker room?
Watson has.
If you think it's worth it to destroy the locker room, go ahead and get the guy. And everybody's we should have never got him.
Where did you hear this? I never heard about Watson having locker room issues. Does he get on his players?
He's had problems. We've all run, but you've seen the guys him getting it when he used to get with Hopkins and all this out there on the field. I mean, it wasn't really locker, but you were able to see it and going back and forth getting into it. I saw it a couple times watching the games, but them two getting into it.
I never paid it no mind.
You really don't want that.
You know, that RG3 had the same problem.
That's my point. And you know, the other one guy I kind of don't like on our team is Jordan Reed, because Jordan Reed, not Jordan. Yeah, it is Jordan Reed. He does.
Jordan Reed.
He was doing it to Mullins.
And yet
I
Jordan,
said, come on now.
Jordan, he
Yeah,
overreacts.
you don't need that. So if you get the quarterback doing that, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah. I didn't know. Deshaun had issues.
Yeah, they got into it a couple. It was not that serious, but they got into it a couple times.
But you know what? You're not supposed to get into it with your receiver. You're supposed to go over, talk to him, and say, "Listen, like we did in practice. You count. The ball should be right there. You got to make your cut though a little earlier. That ball, I'm not going to get mad at my receiver because that's going to make him digress. Or what if you develop the bad rapport with the receiver? Now he may not work as hard for you as he might if you act right. You're a leader out there. And that's one of the things that everybody loves about Jimmy G in the 49ers locker room. G's had players mess up on him right and left. When you got KB out there and some of the other guys, Marquise Goodwin, some of these other guys that are out there screwing up when they were doing that, Trent Taylor, these guys, this was Jimmy's group. That's what I keep telling people, man, let Jimmy have a good crew of receivers and get back to me. In the meantime, you're making these judgments now. I want to see, and from what you're saying to me, though, if Deshaun had to deal with this receiving room from the last 2 years as we're trying to build a receiving core, he'd have been mad as hell.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I'm all for it if they want it. If they end up getting him, even if we do get another quarter, I'm all for it. I mean, it's for Jimmy because it would push Jimmy to play harder if we keep Jimmy. So no, but I honestly don't think we need to give our whole damn kitchen and the damn Mexican chicken or whatever else you got going on. That's doing way too much for that man. He's not worth it mine.
And you know the way Sean and Kyle and Sean, and don't even worry about it. Kyle and Sean are not on that page. They ain't never thought like that. Even when we went after OBJ, it wasn't going to cost that much capital, And OBJ is like he was prime time 2 seasons ago before he hurt his leg, right? And the Giants said, 49ers, man, John Lynch, you must be new around here. We don't trade with the 49ers. And OBJ went to Cleveland. The Raiders.
I know it's a discussion. It's just like that. It's a discussion. They're talking about it. What can we get, guys? What would you guys want for Watson?
They always like they did for you. Yeah.
Like I said, I doubt that Lynch would have been like, oh, you know what? Let's go ahead. Give you Jimmy, give you Bosa. I would even be pissed at Lynch. Like, dude, are you serious? Come on. That was not even that. No.
Hey, Mito, every GM in the league would have been laughing at the 49ers. That's too much.
I would have, but like I said, I would have flipped it on. Why don't you give me Watson and and I just give you Jimmy? I'm like, dude, no. Like, are you serious?
I can see John laugh. I'll give you 2 Italian stallions for 1 Watson.
No.
I mean, Jimmy and Nick, get the bleep out of here. No. And I'm going to give you a first-round draft pick. Oh. That means we would have got stripped naked for 1 ball player. Hey.
Pretty much. And then let's say we don't make the playoffs, everybody will be like, well, it's his first year. Give him a shot. No.
I know.
If we're gonna give up that much, we have to at least sniff the Super Bowl. Not even get
better be in the playoff. The NFC Championship game.
But
that's right.
At least I give you that much. But no. For that, no.
So I'm gonna tell you what.
I don't see it.
You don't worry about it. Lynch and Shannon are not going to kill themselves like that. They work too hard to build this team brick by brick, all of a sudden just knock it down like the Texans did last year when they got rid of D-Hop.
I'm all for if it works, I'm all for it. But to me, that's just too much. I'm not going to, oh, yeah, give him something else. No, that's too much. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, 49ers going to bring a quarterback in. I hope he's good, though. I do want to see him bring a draft or something like that.
Okay, this is our best way. I say give him Jimmy at number 1, and we get Watson and their number 1. That's honestly even trade. That's the only way I would do it. Other than that, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, you want me to give you more?
I don't see Watson leaving Texas. That dude is the franchise. The owners probably already told them dudes, look, y'all let Watson go. Y'all might as well start looking for a job. What am I going to do now? I got no starting quarterback. You got rid of D. Hopkins last year, and I'm still mad about that. You get rid of this guy, and you guys can keep walking. I know he's told them already. So Hey, let me see you Friday if you get a chance.
Man.
And it's quiet. You're at home. You must have a day off today.
Well, I'm a day off, and then all the girls are bad. They gotta get up earlier. Well, everybody's sleeping. They're getting ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
School
there
in the
you go.
morning. Yeah, so it's my day off today.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay up a little longer. They take Max to bed too, because I gotta get up in the morning too.
All right, fam. Great to hear from you always as usual. All right, Emilio. See you Friday.
All right, you too.
All right, fam.
All right, right on.
Yes, indeed. I mean, my dog. I tell you, I'm gonna be right. Oh, I heard about Jerick McKinnon. Justin, what we got some people up here. We got some contributions up here. I think somebody. Because I saw that. Somebody posted that up. It hasn't been. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, but somebody asked. I don't know who asked Jerick McKinnon, was he coming back to the 49ers? But he didn't sound too. He sounds a little pissed off. That was just a no. It was a hell no, and bleep the 49ers. I said, whoa. Jets a little bit. Oh, that's right. It was HB times he. HBK times he. McKinnon said, he ain't coming back. I saw that. Okay. HBK, if you saw that, okay, Chris Wall posted that earlier from SF Niners. I said, oh. Well, Jack must be upset about how he was used last season. So he said, and it said on to the next team. So Jacob McKinnon's ready to go. You know what, though? He wouldn't go play next year. He really wasn't. Mostert and Jeffrey Wilson Jr. own that one, too. We may get a third person, but you know how the 49ers are. 49ers will go find a dude. Any one of us could get a phone call from Bobby anytime. Ring. Yo. Hey, yo, Ronbo, this is Bobby. What's Bobby's last name? 49ers running back coach. How'd you get my phone number? Never mind. You want to play running back? You know I can make anybody a running back and make him a damn good running back. I'll be right over. Because the dude, man, the 49ers getting running backs, they don't need. That's why when I was crying about getting Najee, I said, man, get Najee in here, man. Let's get him and put him next to Mostert, Jeffrey. Boy. I said, no, man. Bobby Turner. Yeah, Bobby Turner can make. If you got average abilities and you can run fast and can think on your feet and do like you're told, you can play for the 49ers. And Justin, it's not letting me. Oh, yeah, because we're getting ready to go, Justin. Sorry, fam. Let me see it Friday. Justin Jack for getting kick rocks. Thanks for contributions, guys. Yeah, I understand. Chris Wall says, I couldn't believe it when I read it. You personally waited so long to see him hit the field, and then he says that. Yeah, I know. I feel sorry for Jet. If he wouldn't have been for those injuries, I wonder what he'd been like 2 years ago before he got hurt, because Jet McKinnon was going to be perfect for Kyle's system. Man. Anyway. Fam, hey, I'll see you Friday to get some time. Fam, I think, you know what? I was trying to decide whether Green Bay versus Tampa Bay, or, because they're playing the same day. Fam, I don't know. I mean, I'm so excited about both games because I want to see Tom Brady not be in a position to win no ring 7. Fam, we can't live with Tom Brady if he wins 7 rings. You got the road rage dude, and they're already talking major poo-poo. If Tom gets 7 rings, no, he can't say anything. Tom's not with the Patriots. He doesn't matter, does he? Well, he doesn't matter anyway. But to see Josh Allen beat Mahomes, they'll say, man, y'all know Mahomes had a concussion just a few days before, right? So that's the only reason why he didn't win. See, I want to bring those excuses out. See, like we're always sitting around having to make excuses. I want to see the Chiefs fan. Chiefs! Eddie Ramirez! What happened, bruh? Somebody told me Eddie Ramirez is a Rams fan. If I ever find out that's true, Eddie, let me see you in here, man. We Seahawks reign. Who's at to change jerseys last week? and said they was a Chiefs fan. Was that Seahawks rain? Fam, anyway, I know, right? Wasting time talking about trolls. See you Friday. Get a chance to talk some more. Football for the best team in the league. Wait. Best organization in the league in NFL history. Best fan base of all time. Getting ready to start rolling next year to develop that dynasty we're supposed to be. Niners! Believe that.